Another special night here at Highlander Stadium. It is Homecoming 2022. Scots tonight put their perfect record on the line against the Nimitz Vikings. Highland Park comes in tonight 6-0. Vikings are 1-6. We count you down to kickoff, beginning with our pregame show coming up next.
The customer service is really unparalleled. I've never seen anything like it with any other company.
The emblem, it just says a lot. It means, hey, I bought from Sewell.
They listened to what I had to say and actually cared about my experience.
Every once in a while, you want to be spoiled, and Sewell does that.
It's not just a transaction. That's the thing about Sewell.
I will always drive a Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles at Sewell Cadillac or SewellCadillac.com.
Determination on the field breeds determination in life. Discipline needed on the court will be the same discipline that gets the job done. That's why Tailwater Capital is a proud supporter of the Highland Park Athletic Program, the winningest athletic program in the state of Texas. 11 Lone Star Cups, 112 state championships, and a commitment to excellence that serves its players for a lifetime. From the locker room to the boardroom, Scots find a way.
In the end, it's not the politician that builds this country. It's the entrepreneur, carrying the world's largest economy on their shoulders, putting Americans back to work. Really, they're the only ones who ever could. We've always been the entrepreneur's bank, for the century behind and the century ahead. Vista Bank. Entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs since 1912.
Highland Park hosting the Nimitz Vikings in a district matchup. The first time in 7 years that these two schools have played. The overall series between the Vikings and Scots, 2-2. Highland Park comes in off a 38-17 win over Berkner, and Nimitz got their first win of the season last week. They knocked off Irving High 30-25. Welcome into Highlander Stadium along with Jay Ellis and Jim Castellaw. I'm Russell Scott, and it is going to be a fun night tonight. Anytime you get a homecoming game, makes for a special night, doesn't it?
It does. And, you know, I think it's in all of our memories, we all remember how special it was, and it's no different tonight. It's going to, you know, it's a big night, especially for maybe not the football players, but a bunch of the other participants in the school, but it's a big deal.
Scots last week able to knock off Berkner on the road, 38-17, the final score. Your thoughts on that win for Highland Park?
You know, I think it was just sort of business as usual. You know, Highland Park scored through the air. They scored on the ground. The defense made big stops. Toward the end of the game, you know, Berkner got a little bit of yardage on the ground, but Highland Park bent. They never broke. It was a you know, what you would expect from Highland Park. I think they played well, and I know they were coming off the week before where they had a little bit of a rough fourth quarter in the game against Jesuit the week before, and I think the coaches were pleased with not only the effort but the execution from the Scots last week.
You look at this game and it looks on paper lopsided with Nimitz coming in with a 1-6 record. They got that one win last week against Irving. You've had a chance to look at them on film. What will we see from the Nimitz offense, and what's their defense look like?
Well, as is the case with a lot of teams that are struggling, you see a lot of motion. Okay, offensively, tons of motion, not of the same plays, but motion all over the field. Defensively, again, you'll see stunts and movement. That's what all teams do who really don't match up as well as they want to. They're going to try to move around and confuse the other team. You know, I will say this about Nimitz. They may have turned a little bit of a corner last week. Going 0-6 is incredibly difficult, as they did, but beating a rival like they did in Irving High could spur them to better things moving forward. And the Scots, because of that, have to be ready tonight.
Get a look at both of the quarterbacks for Highland Park and for Nimitz tonight. Both quarterbacks coming in, having started last year and back as starters again this year. Pedro Maldonado, starting quarterback for the Vikings tonight. And Maldonado, big, tall, strong quarterback. But again, bread and butter for this Nimitz team is going to be on the ground. Opposed to that, Highland Park, most of their offense coming through the air. And we'll get a look at Brennan Storr, who's thrown for 2,500 yards and 19 touchdowns already this year. And he seems to make it look easy week in and week out, doesn't he?
He does, and I think he's you know, if you can overlook a Highland Park quarterback, I think he has largely been overlooked. He makes this offense go, and he is putting the ball right where it needs to be. You see him right there getting ready and warming up tonight. He's just playing with a lot of confidence, a lot of humility. He recognizes, you know, that he's a vital part of it, and he's been putting the ball right where it needs to be over and over and over again, and it shows in the receiving stats of the 5 big receivers, the 4 wideouts, and also Jay Cox.
Well, one of the things we need to remind you of is these fine chairs we're sitting in right now, built to last. That's the company that makes them, and they're a proud supporter of Highland Park Scots football. Built to last. They've got a special going on right now. Buy a chair, you get one of these fine tables absolutely free. So you'll want to check them out online. That's Built to Last. They are bringing you our pregame furniture for this season and all season. And
this is nice stuff.
It's comfortable. We're going to have to get Jay up and out of here.
Yeah, I may just stay here all game.
Hey, I had a chance to catch up with Mark Small. He's the head coach for the Nimitz Vikings in his first year. He's in an incredibly tough situation. He was the offensive coordinator through week 1. Then they had a change at head coach. Their head coach moves up to athletics director for Irving Schools, and Mark Small takes over, trying to put his mark on this team, and had a chance to visit with him and let him talk a little bit about what it's been like so far.
I am a Brian Rogers disciple, but I'm not Brian Rogers. So there's certain things that had to be adjusted, that to be done, like as you say, as to put my stamp on things. And that transition hasn't been easy. We knew that what our roster looked like. We knew that we were senior depleted. We knew what our numbers looked like program-wise. Rebounding from a playoff appearance last year with Highland Park adding into the district, where we got in a district that we got 4th place in, and losing 28 seniors, and 6 of which played college football, was going to be tough for us here. We knew that before the transition. And so I knew what I was getting into. We have great kids. I love coaching in the south side of Irving. I really enjoy coaching our kids and their family values, the way they interact with each other. And this is the place I wanted to be. So when the opportunity arose, I jumped at it. I fought for it. And I like the win and loss column be there right now? Yes. Is there anywhere else that I want to be coaching? No.
Well, I was going to say, it looks like you do have a young team. I think I counted 6 sophomores in your starting lineup.
Yes, sir.
That's got to be a bit of a challenge, having such young guys trying to step in and fill varsity roles.
Yes, sir. Baptism by fire. Hopefully it'll pay some dividends in years to come.
2 games I want to ask you about in particular. The MacArthur game, your offense exploded. You had over 500 yards of total offense. And then last week's game against Irving, you finally turned the corner, got that first victory of the season. Tell me a little bit about both of those games and what you got out of your players and what you saw.
My kids have grown up playing against those kids their whole life. So for especially for the sophomores you were talking about that are starters, whether it's the Irving River Bottoms Little League, whether it was middle schools here in Irving ISD, where we only play other Irving ISD middle schools, there's a different feel for those 2 rivalry games. Both those games, I mean, the win, obviously, we were fighting down to the wire. And then down 42-7 at halftime in the MacArthur game, I asked those kids to just keep fighting. I was like, I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to keep taking shots, keep fighting with me. And I think games like that, in the Lake Highlands game, where we did keep on taking shots, we did keep on fighting. We didn't just roll over and get out of a game at any point in time, regardless of what the score might have looked like. So it put those kids in a position where they were comfortable at the end of the Irving game. They had been there before. They knew what it was like to keep fighting and keep playing. And when they had the opportunity to make some plays, they made some plays. And so it was nice to get a turnaround and be on the other end of that.
What was that locker room like after last week's game?
It was a lot of fun. Like I said, I love these kids. These kids love me. I'm super grateful for them in every way, shape, and form available. But there's a little dance party. There's a little bit of fun going on. It was definitely a relief for everybody and a moment to celebrate because, again, with this young team, they needed that. Nimitz needed that, and it was great that we could do that in the rivalry game and bring a W back to the South Side. And that is, we did start a new tradition with the Viger Bowl trophy, and we're able to bring a trophy home and create another tradition as well in year one. So it was a good feeling.
Mark Smalley's the head coach of the Nimitz Vikings, and again, they got their first win last week. Tell you what, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll hear from head coach Randy Allen and talk a little bit about these fancy new hats we've got on our heads for tonight's pregame show. It's, coming up as our JSX pregame show rolls on right after this timeout.
With almost 100 offices across the state of Texas and 50 of them in the DFW area alone, Capital Title is here to serve you. Made by Texans, for Texans. Capital Title is the largest independent title company in the United States. We are Dallas-born, Dallas-based, and family-owned. We support the Highland Park Scots.
It's the Baker Brothers replay. The best offense is a good defense. Baker Brothers blocked those surges before they could take it to the house.
That play was electric.
That's right, Jimmy.
Shocking, even?
We get it, Jimmy.
Call now to get this month's electric special.
Stafford was under pressure, rolled to the left, threw 43 yards into the end zone for a prayer, and Highland Park comes down with the touchdown. Offside kick to come. Across the middle of Starsted. Touchdown, Highland Park. The game is over. Highland Park has won the state championship.
Back on our JSX pregame show, along with Jay and Jim, I'm Russell, and we've got these special new hats, Scott's Game Day hats. There's a little story behind these.
Yeah, there is. So members of the community are probably aware of Scott's Game Day. It's a new initiative of the sports club. The idea is to have supporters of the more heavily funded sports at Highland Park to sponsor Game Day, to help build the funds that are available for all of the programs in the Highland Park Athletic Department, especially those that maybe don't have quite the number of spectators and sell as many tickets as the football program. The idea is the Highland Park Sports Club raises donations so that when the coaches of the sports here at Highland Park, when they have a need, new uniforms, new equipment, and so forth, they can come ask the sports club for funding, and you'd be amazed at the track record of the sports club on how well they're able to meet those funding needs. And by wearing these game day hats, fans in the stands and fans at the restaurants and around the community can show that they support not just the football program, but more importantly, all of the programs within Highland Park Athletic Department. And so my suggestion is for our watchers and our listeners, support Game Day. If you go to the HP Sports Club website, you can become one of the Game Day sponsors. I believe the sponsorship costs $250, right, and you get this exclusive hat that today only the three of us are wearing.
I believe we've got a special flyover for homecoming. Take a look. There they are.
Yep, here we come.
Looks nice, doesn't it? Not many high school homecomings get a special flyover by the Navy.
And especially when the Navy's playing about a mile away.
Well, we're not talking about that.
What a coincidence that is.
Hey, I had a chance to catch up with head coach Randy Allen this week and talk to him a little bit about that win over Berkner last week. And started with just, did you get everything out of the game that you wanted to get out of the game? And he said, yeah, pretty much we did.
Yes, we did, Russell. We had a rough week emotionally with an accident that happened to our cheerleaders and just some things in our community. So my biggest concern was, would we be emotionally up for the game or would we be flat? And our guys did a great job of playing hard and winning the game in spite of maybe how they felt emotionally. And we came out of it with a win against probably the third best team in our district. You know, Berkner's got some talent. And we felt like Jesuit had a really good football team and Lake Highlands had a good football team. And then Berkner had the third best team. So we feel like we played the three best teams in our district. And it was important to win those games. And we came out of it pretty healthy. So we're good to go into this next week.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the first quarter and how that kind of sets the tone for Highland Park. Offensively, you've scored more points in the first quarter. Defensively, you've held opponents to the fewest points. How big is that going into a game when you get off to starts like that?
I think our guys start fast, and I've had teams that didn't. I've had teams that, didn't start quite as fast, but we've taken the football. If we've won the flip, we've taken the ball, I guess, 5 out of the 6 games, and we've scored the first time we've gotten the ball 5 out of the 6 games. And I think our defense has not given up a touchdown in the first drive. And so we've been able to get off to a fast start. I think if you're favored and the other team knows you're favored and you get off to a good start, I think it puts some doubt in their mind. I think it helps you maintain some momentum. It gives your team confidence. We can, play from behind. We've done it before. But it's much easier if you can get out in front and get a fast start.
And the same thing seems to happen at the start of the third quarter. And I know we've talked about this in the past before, but this year, 6 out of 6 games, you've scored on the first possession of that third quarter. And that makes a big difference coming out of the break.
It really does. And I try to emphasize that to our football team, that the team that scores right after half has a big advantage and towards winning the football game. And the fact that our guys are able to do it is because they come out of the dressing room with their minds made up they're going to do it. And I think that's a really good sign for our football team.
What do you know about and what are you expecting from Nimitz this week?
Well, we're more concerned about our football team, Russell. We're concerned about improvement each week. We'll be holding out 2 offensive linemen this week, so we'll be getting some depth with 2 guys that don't usually start. We'll be holding out Adam Rourke on defense, so we'll get some more defensive backs in the game. And it's going to be good in the long run for our football team to get some depth, give some guys some experience that might need to play down in the playoffs.
Is there anything? Do you feel like your team has progressed, either offensively or defensively or in special teams more than the rest of the team? Anybody that's gotten? Not a great question, but I'm just looking to see where you've seen the best progression in your team through 6 games.
Yeah, I would agree. It's not a great question, but well, we've been so consistent in kicking game in our special teams. We've been consistent offensively. If I had an area that I want to improve on, it would be the running game on offense. And then defense would be stopping the run. Those are 2 areas that we've really tried to emphasize.
Well, Coach,
but I took a bad question and I made you look good.
That's why I love you. That's why I love you, Coach. Well, it should be a great game again back at Highlander Stadium this week. And we're not that far from the playoffs, and so every game gets that much more important as you get closer to the playoff picture, doesn't it?
It does, and it's way too early to talk about the playoffs. This is homecoming at Highland Park, and so there'll be a lot of former students back to watch the team, and so there's a lot of celebrations that go on with homecoming. So it should be a great game, and we're excited about coming home and playing what could be one of the last 3 games we play at home.
Do you remember any of your homecoming games that you played in high school or in college, and how just the atmosphere affected you?
I remember when my daughter was nominated for homecoming queen at Abilene Cooper, and I was supposed to escort her onto the field at halftime. And so I was looking at the clock, and as soon as the first half was over, I ran to the dressing room to change clothes, put on a suit and tie, came out, escorted her out on the field, and then had to run back in the dressing room and get back at my coaching clothes. And I love my daughter, Ashley, and that was a memorable experience.
That is a great remembrance. Well, Coach, wish you the best of luck, and best of luck against the Vikings.
All right. Thank you, Russell. And think of some better questions next time.
We'll give it a try.
Whoa! I'm telling you, are you still smoking from that? from that blistering you got from Coach Allen?
I'm going to let you do it next week.
Hey, Russell, I've asked him a lot of bad questions through the year, but I never prompt him to assess those questions.
We need to take a break. We'll be back with more of our JSX pregame show.
I'd say Coach Allen and you are getting very comfortable together.
Just a moment. Stay with us.
Oh, say, little doggies, why don't you lay down? Lay down, little doggies, lay down.
It's not just what we wear. We are Cavenders, and this is how we live.
Our name, Residential Capital Partners, reflects who we are and how we treat our customers. At Residential Capital Partners, we are dedicated to helping our customers build wealth through real estate. Residential Capital Partners, America's private lender.
Conveniently located between Lovers Lane and University Boulevard on Preston Road. Not Just Soccer is locally owned and has served the Highland Park community for youth sports equipment needs since 1989. Whether you're looking for soccer, football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, or lacrosse equipment, they carry it all, and they take pride with specialists in each sport, and in many circumstances, you'll be helped by a current Highland Park athlete. Go Scots!
The service after the sale is something that will keep bringing my wife and I back as Sewell customers. Give them about 48 hours, tell them what you need service for. They bring you a loan car, pick up your car, take it back, do the service, and come and pick up the loan car. That's like being royalty. If that doesn't invoke loyalty, I don't know what does. I drive a Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles at Sewell Cadillac or SewellCadillac.com.
Looking live at Highlander Stadium, homecoming night tonight, Highland Park, and the Nimitz Vikings about to do battle in just about 40 minutes from right now. Along with Jim and Jay, I'm Russell Scott, and we talked a little bit about homecoming with you earlier.
Right.
Jay, what about you? Remember homecoming? You played right here at Highlander, didn't you?
You know, I did. I don't remember the homecoming game.
Hey, wait a minute. What is this? Look at this.
All right, so you did pull one on me.
You played the Fighting Innis Lions, huh?
There you go.
Yeah, I tell you what.
I've seen a picture of you and your lovely wife Liza going to the homecoming dance, I think.
Yeah. You know, yeah, I was surprised by that one. Yeah, we went to the homecoming dance together. It was great. There, if you had asked me for a photo, that's the one I would have brought. I'm more proud of that than I am for catching a few pitches and breaking a couple tackles.
You did turn a little red when that picture showed up.
Now that I've had my time with a picture and you've had yours, guess who's up next?
No. You're not going to find any of mine. You're not going to find any of mine.
Yes, Desiree, we'll be calling shortly.
Let's talk a little bit about Nimitz and Highland Park tonight. I know you had a chance to talk with Coach Darren Eason, find out his thoughts on tonight's game. What did he talk to you about?
Well, he's very pleased with the way his secondary coach Eason is the co-defensive coordinator along with Coach Leidner, and he coaches the safeties. He's very pleased with the progress the safeties have shown. Carl Williams, Brady Dotrieve, Barrett Denton have just really flown around to the ball and made tremendous strides and done a great job. He's very happy with how they progress.
Let's see what he says about Carl Williams first.
Well, I'm so pleased with Carl. Carl was, if you go back to 2 springs ago when he was a junior, he had a really good spring, and I thought at that time he was going to be the third safety. Mm-hmm. And coming out of that spring, going into his junior year, he was going to be the third safety. Well, he came back to fall camp with a hamstring injury. So he was out, and then Jonathan Thomas was out. So they thrust JT Withers into the starting lineup. And Carl got back, and because he wasn't getting any reps when he was out, he was a little bit behind. Sure. So that hindered him as a junior getting in. And but he really benefited from being on the varsity team all of last year.
Sure.
Learning, in a low stress environment because he didn't have to play. He played in mop-up time, played on kickoff. So that has helped him. But I'm really pleased with him. Like, those first 2 games out the gate were just great games for him. Sure. He got player of the week, the Flower Mound game, but he really should have got it the second game, because the second game against Louisville, he played lights out. He had 9 tackles, 3 assists. He's real cerebral. He wants to know what everybody's doing on the field. He's a big picture kind of guy to make him understand why he's doing what he's doing is so important.
Also had a chance to catch up with Coach Eason and let him talk a little bit about some of the other guys in that secondary. One of those is Brady Dotrieve, also plays safety.
So Brady is another one. He was on varsity last year, benefited from playing in those low-stress environment. Go back to last year against Flower Mound. He was Defensive Player of the Week. Mm-hmm. He made some big plays in that game towards the end of the game. He snapped for us last year on punt, ran out on kickoff. Just a valuable lesson he's learned there. Louisville was a game that he really learned from. He had a few tackling issues that game, and we fixed it. He made sure he stayed behind the hip, and he's been improving every week. I was disappointed that the flag was called last week. The flag was a good flag call, and he missed his interception because he played that play perfectly.
Right.
So I'm really pleased with his efforts, and he's not only helping us on defense, him snapping the ball on punt and getting it to our punter has been big. He's having a great year, and he is improving week in and week out. He is really paying attention to the details.
And the third member of that secondary that Coach Eason mentioned and talked a lot about was a guy who's getting playing time. Doesn't always start, but Barrett Denton has been a big part of the Highland Park Scots defense.
I go back to a game last year against Rockwall. We played Rockwall on a JV. We were up 21 points going into the fourth quarter. We ended up losing. And that was a real trial by error game. Like, he really learned a lot, and he learned a lot from Capel as a JV player. Both methods work. Either you're on varsity as a junior and you play limited, or you on JV and you play a lot. Mm-hmm. Well, all 3 of these safeties have benefited from both methods. Barrett played a lot of football last year and got to play a lot of minutes. And yes, I was really thrilled with that 4th down stop he made, because what people don't realize about that 4th down stop, look, we were out-gapped by 3 gaps. We lined up wrong, actually. And they should have walked in. Like, it shouldn't have been a 4th down stop for us. But that play epitomizes who Barrett Denton is, because he goes 100 miles per hour. He does not care about his body. like he goes and he saw that ball coming. He stuck his nose in there and it was like, whack. It was down. And I was like, that was the play. Yes, that was the play of that game.
Tell you what, that was great. And how did you manage to get his son to be so good during that whole
He
thing?
was awesome. When we first got on the Zoom call, I'm like, oh, this might be bad because, anything could happen. And, he sat there almost the entire interview, did not make a sound, just like he was listening to his dad coach him. So we appreciate Coach Eason. Obviously his son is only, 2 months old now, but and so his home life has changed quite a bit, as we all can imagine who have kids. But he continues to do an outstanding job. Kids really respond to him well.
Special night tonight. It is homecoming, but let's get our scouting report from our players. Tonight we visited first with Brady Dautrieve to get his thoughts on what to expect from Irving, their offense, their receivers, and kind of what he sees going into this game.
There's two main things about this team. Number one is the quarterback. He knows how to extend the plays, like Kyle was saying. They got to keep him contained. But, he'll get outside the pocket and all the film we've been watching, and he'll extend plays, make 30, 40-yard passes on plays that weren't even designed like that, just scrambling.
Right.
And then also their offense, they do a lot of motion from the receivers, the running backs, tight ends, all that. And they'll motion up to 3 people at the same time, and they'll do shifts and switch it up. So this week, we've just had to focus a lot on our motion rules and knowing where we're supposed to be and think fast and just line up and play the play right.
Kyle Carlson had a look at the offensive line that Irving Nimitz has, and he talked to us a little bit about that.
The offensive line looks quick. They're not as big as Lake Highlands or what we've gone against, but they do look quick off the ball. They like to pull a lot, so you have to keep your eyes disciplined and your alignment disciplined so that you can stay in your gap. And you don't want to give the QB the edge, because what they want to do a lot is they want to kick you out, because the QB, I think his name is Pedro or something.
Mm-hmm.
He's able to run the ball really, really well. So, for example, if we're going out to a 5 or we're staying on the edge, we need to stay out on the edge. We can't cut back inside like we normally can, because we want to make sure that we give that QB nowhere to go. And the whole offensive line, the right tackle, he's about 6'4", I think he's 245. He's able to move, and he can ozone over, and he can also try to hook block the end. So you just have to stay really disciplined with your alignment, and you have to stay disciplined with your first step and make sure that you don't go too far upfield or you go into his chest or anything. So
the other guy you saw in that picture is Robert Sweeney, offensive tackle for the Scots, and he talked a little bit about the Nimitz defense, and especially that defensive line.
Yes. They love to stunt. They love to try and throw us off. They know our passing game is up there with the best in Texas, and they're going to try and disturb us up front so that they can put a stop to that. We've made different maybe not changes, but we've been prepping a lot for all their different stunts because they have a ton. Right. They can bring multiple linebackers, 2 players, 1 gap, a lot of stuff like that. And we've just been game planning for it all week.
That is our player scouting report coming from some of the Highland Park players themselves. Jim, you had a chance to talk to them this week and get a chance they're comfortable and ready for homecoming?
Well, I think they've worked very hard on their own technique. I think that's the big thing when you go against a team that maybe they're struggling a little bit like Nimitz and like some others we played. You have to quit focusing on them and start focusing on, okay, what do you need to do to get to where you want to be when the playoffs roll around? And I think to a man, all of them have said, we're working on what we need to become, not necessarily studying Nimitz so we can make sure we can beat them. We're working on where we want to be when the time comes.
One of the things Coach talked about earlier was 3 players will sit out tonight. One of those is going to be defensive back Adam Rourke. And when you take him out, what does that do for the secondary for Highland Park, or what does that do to them?
Well, it's almost a plug-and-play answer, and the answer is you plug and play, right? I mean, Highland Park has great depth, and we've seen it especially on defense this year. In addition to Adam Rourke, we've seen Ethan Burt playing really great. We've seen Wes Giese playing really great. My understanding is we're going to see Mac Ballard tonight, who had been injured for many weeks. So those are the three corners who I think we'll see first. We talked about the safeties earlier. We've got great depth there. So, look, Adam's a fantastic player. I know he would be the first to tell you he has a lot of confidence in these other guys who are going to play that position tonight.
A couple other guys who will miss tonight. Lawson Petty's going to sit out. Whit Basso will sit out as well. We'll talk more about that when we get into the game, which is coming up in just about 15 minutes from right now. You ready to go?
I'm ready to go. It seems like, I guess because we had a Thursday night, it seems like we hadn't been here in a while, and I think we're ready to get going. And the weather's starting to change. It's getting to be football weather, and that means playoffs aren't far off. So Scots want to keep this roll going. 6-0, let's go 7-0 tonight.
Scots had a big win over Berkner last week. We'll take a look at some of the highlights as we go to break. When we come back, we'll join you from the press box. It's Highland Park and Nimitz tonight here from Highlander.
This week's highlights are brought to you by The Rustic. Enjoy home-style meals made with farm-to-table ingredients. Go Scots.
Wide. Again, actually goes in motion. We'll throw it down. Wide open. It's caught, and this is going to be a huge play. Up the right side of the field. Long run by Grayson Schrader. Score is going to lock this one downfield. Luke Herring's got it on a crossing pattern. He did. Here we go on first down. It's going to be Jay Cox. He found some running room. Here we go. He's got a seam, and it's a race to the end zone, and they're not going to catch him. Jay Cox into the end zone for the touchdown.
Attention Highland Park Scots and SMU fans, football is back at Highlander and on the Hilltop. And so is your favorite neighborhood burger joint, Goff's Hamburgers. It's the same burgers, same fries, hot dogs, and chicken you loved as a kid, but now in a brand new location. Goff's is now on Mockingbird between SMU and Central Expressway. Drop in for that unmistakable charcoal grill taste. Host a private party in the back room, or hang out and enjoy the Highland Park and SMU memories hanging on the walls. Goff's Hamburgers, proud supporter of the Highland Park Scots.
It's had a service culture, and I don't think there's anybody in our company that believes otherwise. Everybody understands that our mission is to take care of families.
And I think what makes me the most proud is how many families and lives we have actually touched. We've been so impactful for so many people, and in different ways of their lives, in ways we couldn't necessarily anticipate.
We see you, early riser, paying the price, making your move. We see you because we are you. Entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs. As one of the few Texas banks participating in the Main Street Lending Program, Vista Bank is helping small businesses put America back to work. Isn't it time you join the over 1,500 new PPP clients and make your move to a bank that hustles as hard as you do? Vista Bank. People first.
Curtis Law.
Curtis Law, the game-winning lawyer.
I'm a link in the chain. I am a link in the chain.
I am a link in the chain.
I'm 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 a link in the chain.
I am a link in the chain.
I am a link in the chain. I'm 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 a link in the chain.
When you play one of us, you play all of us.
Curtis Law, the game-winning lawyer. By Inwood National Bank.
The National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning.
Can you feel that? Yeah. It's time to bring the make the ground shake when we come. Come on. Touchdown, Jake Cox. Come on. He's got it. Touchdown, Highland Park. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, we gon' rain and we gon' shine when it's go time. Go, go, go time. We gon' push it to the limit like it's no lie. When it's go time. Go, go, go time.
Welcome into Highlander Stadium for Homecoming 2022. Along with Jim Castellaw, I'm Russell Scott, and it's Highland Park playing host to the Nimitz Vikings tonight. It's a series that stands at 2-2. Highland Park's won the last two times these two teams have met, back in 2014 and 2015. And tonight, again, homecoming, so a lot of festivities expected tonight, and we're expected to have a huge crowd here at Highlander Stadium as well. Thanks for joining us. You see the Highland Park Scots come out of the locker room, and they will play defense first. We had the coin toss just a couple of minutes ago, and Nimitz won the coin toss, and the Vikings have decided they will take the football. We'll have the national anthem coming up here momentarily, and then our game will get underway in just a second. We've got great weather tonight, and Jay Ellis will be along the sideline tonight. And I know that Jay's got some special guests down there, don't you, Jay?
Sure do. I've got the Ayub twins. I have Camden and Paxton, and they're in which grade, guys? Fifth grade. And Camden is going to actually read our weather report.
All right. Temperature at kickoff is 80 degrees. Wind will pick up to 13 miles per hour. Sun will set at 6:55. Go Scotties!
Thank you very much. Camden and Paxton Ayub, they are our guest broadcasters tonight for homecoming.
All right. Doing a nice job. 1951 now available inside New York subs. Let's pause now for the playing of the national anthem here at Highlander Stadium. the quarterback for the Highland Park Scots you just saw right there, number 7, who will sit it out the first series as the Scots defense will be out there to get things open. The Scots tonight in the navy uniforms with the gold pants, and across the way, Vikings will be in the white jerseys and the gray pants. And Jim, it seems like we talked a lot about this, but let's talk a little bit more about it. What do you think Highland Park wants to do tonight? Playing a team that comes in 1-6, while your team, the Highland Park Scots, are 6-0. How do you see things playing out tonight?
Well, I know this. The coaches said they coach harder this week than they probably have all year long, and that doesn't mean that means their intensity is high. They wanted to convey. We're going to continue to improve where we need to improve. I know Coach Bobby Leidner talked about they have to get off the field when they have opportunities. He was a little bit disappointed against Bertner. Bertner, if you recall, had a 21-play drive, and he goes, that's just not acceptable. And he said in that 21-play drive, we had 3 chances to get off the field and to shut them down. And he goes, if we're going to go anywhere in the playoffs, we've got to get to where we can get off the field when the time comes. I know offensively, I think Coach Allen mentioned this in his interview, offensively, the Scots want to run the ball more or better than they've been running. They've been lights out throwing the ball. They'd like to improve still a little bit more in how they're running the ball and really be able to control the game and the clock.
Nimitz comes in, as I mentioned just a moment ago, 1-6 on the season. Their head coach is Mark Small. Boy, you were a coach. Just think about this for a minute. You start the year as offensive coordinator in your 5th season as offensive coordinator, and after the first week of the season, your head coach moves up to athletics director over all Irving schools, and they go, you know what, you're going to be our interim head coach. He did that for 2 weeks, and then they remove the interim from him. For Mark Small, it's kind of he's got to learn this on the go, doesn't he?
Right, he does, and a lot of people would look at this and go, well, that's an easy transition. He was on the staff, and everybody else stayed around. It's not, when you lose your head guy, he's the one who's the motor of the whole program. And again, the kids obviously have some questions. The fans have questions. And again, Mark Small, I think, has done a tremendous job, jumping in there and saying, hey, I'm going to show these kids I love them, I care about them, and we're going to eventually get this thing turned around if you'll keep fighting with me. And he said something very similar to that, and I think the kids have responded well. Here we go.
Ready to get it underway, and it's going to be Nick Regas to kick it off. Our kickoff brought to you by Davidson Bogle Real Estate. Land is their business, and it's going into and out of the back of the end zone. They'll bring it out to their 25-yard line, and that's where we will see the Nimitz offense. Highland Park defensively has been outstanding all season long. It's a team that's allowing only 18 points per game. They're allowing only 325 yards per game, only 145 on the ground and 180 through the air. Highland Park works out of a 3-4 look with a 4-deep secondary. But again, tonight, one of the things you will see is Adam Rourke not on the field tonight. He's sitting out with a shoulder injury tonight. That means Ethan Burt will get the start at cornerback for Highland Park. He is wearing number 28. He'll start on the far side of the field.
And up front for the Scots, Carlson, Montgomery, and it looks like Spencer Brown.
Pedro Maldonado throws out of a shotgun formation, completes it off to the right side. That's Caden Holder who made the catch. Wes Giese steps in there to stop him immediately. It's going to be a pickup of about 5 yards. Not a bad way to start for the Vikings.
And again, Maldonado, he can throw a little bit, but his forte is running the ball. He's very quick, very talented in his moves out in the open fields. So Scots are going to have to find a way to keep him boxed up and not leave him lanes to run in.
Maldonado comes into the game, has thrown for 476 yards this season, 5 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. 4 receivers will go to the short side of the field this time. They'll set a tight end off to the left. They'll send one man in motion, and as the ball is snapped, a whistle, and we've got a procedure call against the offense.
Well, look for a little trick play right there.
On the offense, number 51, 5 yards from previous spot. Repeat, second down.
And again, looked like what Nimitz was trying to do. They ran one of the slot receivers in motion across. Looks like the center was trying to snap it to him, but a motion penalty created an issue.
Moving back to the original line of scrimmage brings up second down now for the Vikings. Maldonado, same set. He'll put those 4 wide receivers to the bottom of your screen. That's the short side of the field. Sends that man in motion again, pitches it back, and trying to get around the left side goes Amari Griffin. And he'll pick up another 5, maybe 6 yards right there. So 3rd down and 4 now for the Vikings.
Yeah, and Maldonado is very adept at running the option. You got to be careful. I think he wants to keep it much more than he wants to pitch the ball. But Maldonado, again, is the engine that makes this Nimitz offense go.
Get a look at the starting defense for Highland Park right there, and they have been outstanding. They have gotten to the quarterback 7 times this year for quarterback sacks. 3rd down situation, opponents converting at a rate of 39% against Highland Park's defense.
Morse and Rossley in the middle.
Vikings want to throw into the flat left side. That's going to be incomplete. It was short. Nicholas Kennedy, the intended receiver, and a 4th down and likely punting situation now for Nimitz.
Scott's doing what Coach Leidner and Coach Eason want him to do. He's got a 3 and out first time.
Pedro Maldonado, the quarterback, will step back and punt. He'll stand on his own 15-yard line.
And Russell, in the film watching this game, it's been very concerning that the Nimitz has trouble getting the ball back. This one looks like to be okay, though it bounces. Oh!
Ball or not, Maldonado took a hit, and there's a flag. And I believe this is going to be a roughing the punter call. And if it is, that's going to be an automatic first down for the Vikings.
Yeah, let's see if it's roughing or running into or what we got. Yeah, it looks like with the ball bouncing, I was of the opinion that that took away the protection. But we'll see. In other words, if the punter takes 1 or 2 steps out of his area, and that time he had to because the ball bounced back to him. Nimitz had all kinds of trouble. Ball going over the punter's head, bouncing off to the side.
On the defense, running into the kicker, 5 yards, first down.
Wow.
I'm surprised, given that he didn't field the ball cleanly.
Well, first down of the football game goes to the Nimitz Vikings. They'll now have it out at their own 35-yard line.
Nimitz will run a tight end, sometimes double tight like they are right now.
Send a man in motion. We've got a flag, and there's going to be procedure. Somebody jumped on that offensive line. The center, I believe, flinched right there. Center for the Vikings, Ronaldo Rodriguez. They've got Adrian Barron at right guard and John Torres at right tackle.
Offense, number 67, 5 yards from previous spot, first down.
Aiden Milleraro will be at left guard, and Dennis Bonilla will start at left tackle for the Vikings. Highland Park's defense forced 8 procedure calls against the Berkner offense last week. We've already had 2 of those called tonight against the Vikings.
Scots look like they can do that almost at will with their stem movement. Really, Berkner had a huge problem with it, so I'm surprised that Nimitz is having that same type of issue, having the film to watch and everything.
Brings up first down and 15. And again, the whistle blows just as the play was developing.
Yeah,
flag is down, and
ball was snapped.
Ball start on the offense, number 5. 5 yards from previous spot. Repeat, first down.
Boy, that's 3 penalties already.
And you see, when you're a struggling team, these are the type of things that manifest themselves. I mean, just even getting the playoff is difficult. Coach Small's making headway, but it's hard to turn the corner overnight.
They've gone backwards 10 yards without even moving the clock 1 second. Snap. This is Griffin trying to go off left tackle. He'll get a little bit of a seam. He's going to be well short of the first down, although he does run for 9 yards. Finally spun down there by inside linebacker Tommy Rossley.
And Rossley,
second down and long.
Rossley having a huge year as a senior, coming almost out of nowhere. I don't think he was on anybody's radar, but he has come in the last 3 or 4 games and just played lights out there at the inside linebacker spot. Scots have had a history of great inside linebackers, and Rossley, Ramey, and Morris just flowing into that.
Second down 11 now for the Vikings. Play action. They'll throw into the flat near side. That's going to be caught by Caden Holder. And Holder's going to have his feet knocked out from under him around the 39. Wes Giese comes in to make the tackle. It'll be a 5-yard gain, but well short of the first down. And another third down situation for the Vikings.
Granddad Gary Hammond, happy to see Giese coming up and making a play like that. He made a few of those himself over the years, I'm sure.
Third down now for the Vikings. They'll go to their jumbo package. They move into the backfield. Carlos Castillo. Maldonado rolls left, throws on the run, has a receiver there, caught. Kennedy's taken down immediately, and he's going to have the first down. Just did get the line needed to move it. Charlie Barton and Ethan Burt step in there to make the tackle.
Now, you can't get there much quicker right there. Maldonado rolling hard to his left. Unloads the ball. Again, difficult throw for a right-handed quarterback. But Burt and Barton are right there, but can't prevent the first down. Seventh play coming up. Seventh play of the drive.
3 receivers wide to the right side. That's the bottom of your screen. This is going to be a quarterback draw. Maldonado is going to get hit. He'll pick up maybe a couple. That's about it. Second down and long. Charlie Barton again gets in to make the tackle for Highland Park.
Good to see Charlie Barton back out there. He played a little special teams last week, but he feels like he's ready to go and back out there. We're happy about that.
.744 to play first quarter. Highland Park has not gotten the ball yet.
And talking about what we discussed, Coach Leitner discussed, the Scots have had 2 chances to get off the field in this drive, still haven't been able to do it.
Maldonado wants to throw. It's going to be flushed to the right side. Stops, throws, has a receiver right there. Caught it. That's going to be a first down. Coming up with the reception is Hernandez. His first catch of the night. Dak Morris comes through to make the tackle for the Scots. But again, the Vikings moving the football now into Highland Park territory.
Well,
11-yard pickup on that particular play.
And I don't think that, again, I think the Scots were anticipating much more of a rushing attack. And Nimitz has come out flinging the ball around a little bit. Not going deep, but just little stop routes, little ins and outs. And give Maldonado credit. He's putting the ball where it needs to be.
Rodriguez out over the football. Snaps it back. Here's a handoff, and it's Griffin. Tried to go right up the middle. He'll only get 2 yards, and then William White steps up there and makes the tackle. And talk about a big game last week against Berkner. William White had 12 tackles in last week's game. He is now the Scots' leading tackler with 43 on the season.
White's been doing a tremendous job. Rossley and Morse, along with Ramey, are right there as well. They generally lead the stat sheet. Nimitz is going to come out and stack the receivers to the right. Giese's going to challenge them.
This drive approaching 6 minutes now for the Vikings. Maldonado throws downfield. That's going to be incomplete. Led his receiver a little bit too far. Kennedy, the intended receiver. And third down and long now for Nimitz.
And right there, a little option for Maldonado. He's got the choice of throwing the inside slant route or the bubble screen look to his back, looping out of the backfield to the left.
Vikings are 1 for 2 on third down conversions tonight. They've got 3rd and 8. They need to get to the 31-yard line for another first down.
Looks like Coach Leitner dialing up the pressure. Here comes a blitz.
Send Griffin in motion out of the backfield. This is tipped in the air. It's going to be caught anyway, and that's going to be a first down for the Vikings. Now on the way down to the Highland Park 20-yard line, and that's Christopher Hernandez, who kept his eyes on the ball, able to haul it in, finds a bit of a seam down to the 20.
Yeah, the ball just bounces off the receiver, William White. Looks like he's going to bat the ball down, gets his hands up. Right there, though, number 45, it goes off his hand. Nimitz able to make the reception, bring up a first down right at the 20-yard line. They got a little confidence last week. Looks like they still do.
Quarter replay is brought to you by Origin Bank. Every great relationship has an origin story. Little counterplay in the backfield, handed off to Griffin. He got hit and still picks up 5 yards. We'll call it a 6-yard pickup all the way down to the 14-yard line before Ethan Burt steps in there and brings him to the turf. Well, but I tell you what, the Vikings are doing a nice job of moving the football on Highland Park's defense.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, they love that counter tray play where you fake the ball to the right side guard and tackle, pull to the left, one kicks out, one turns up, back follows him. All right, they've had very good success with that play.
This drive now has gone 7 minutes. Throw into the end zone off the hands of Griffin, and that is going to be incomplete pass. But boy, he was open at the back of the end zone.
Yeah, I've had a little space back there. Dotrieve and Williams closing on him, but the ball a little bit overthrown. Maldonado, you'll see here, tries to put some touch on the ball, lays it up, but just a little bit too much over the top of Rossley with Dotrieve closing fast.
Maldonado now 5 for 8 for 47 yards. Now 3rd down and 4. They need the 10-yard line for another first.
Nimitz
shift everybody out of the backfield.
Nimitz starting out in that full house, going empty.
Quarterback draw this time. Maldonado looking for a place to run. He's going to get the first down. He's down to the 8-yard line before he's rattled to the turf. Coming in there for the Scots, Brady Dotrieve. And a 6-yard pickup and a 1st and goal to go for Nimitz.
And Maldonado making things happen for the Vikings. He is, all the players who watch him said he is definitely a good quarterback, only a junior, going to get better and better. But he's making things happen right now. And to everyone's surprise here in Highlander, Nimitz has the 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line on their first drive.
This will be the 15th play of the drive. 15th play of the drive. Fake the handoff to Griffin. The throw into the flat near side. Couldn't hold on to it. Hernandez had it in his hands. Might have heard the footsteps from Carl Williams coming from behind him. Incomplete. 2nd down and goal to go.
Yeah, Maldonado put the ball right on the money. Just a drop pass by Hernandez. And Nimitz can't afford those if they're going to stay in this game with Highland Park.
4:14 to play in the first quarter, and Nimitz has had the ball from the get-go. Highland Park's defense bending, hoping not to break right here. Empty set formation again. It's Griffin who goes in motion. Quarterback wanted to keep it, and he slipped down. We do have a flag right along the line of scrimmage to go along with that.
Nimitz trying to run the Pluto play. The motion back gets a fake on the stretch. Maldonado pulls it out, tries to head upfield, but slips. Chop block. A chop block on a lineman who was our defensive lineman who was already engaged. I think what the official was trying to say.
It's going to be a 15-yard penalty, right?
Yep, 15-yard penalty. Look for the chop block. Must have happened inside.
Yeah, I was going to say it happened to the right of where we were looking right there. Moves the ball all the way back out to the 23. And repeat 2nd down.
Judge Ellis coming in the game at nose guard. Up the middle. Got a lot of pressure on from the defensive ends, Carlson and Brown. And Judge will try to increase the push right up the gut.
Referee trying to say something. I'm not sure. Maybe resetting the clock. I think that's exactly what it was. Nimitz 2nd and goal to go from the 23-yard line. Again, 4 wide receivers go to the bottom of your screen. That's Griffin who went in motion. And Maldonado, and we've got a flag that's likely a holding call. Maldonado's got some time now. He's going to run with it. He'll get down to the 18-yard line before he slides down. Charlie Barton was bearing down on him. And that'll leave him with a 3rd down and long.
Judge Ellis was right there to flush Pedro Maldonado out of the pocket, and I think he may have been the Scott defensive lineman that got held.
Still 2nd down and long, but this is going to be marked off, and that takes the ball all the way out to the 33-yard line. So, again, Nimitz going in the wrong direction once they got down inside the Scots 10-yard line.
Yeah, they were set up 1st and goal to 7, if you recall. Yeah, watch Judge Ellis get held right here, right there.
Boy, that hurts when you're doing that holding right in the middle, being wide open.
But that's why Coach Burt likes Judge in there at nose guard, because it puts a lot of pressure through the heart of the Nimitz offensive line.
This drive alone, Nimitz has been penalized 40 yards. Second down and goal to go from the 33. Maldonado's trying to set up a screen pass, throws it down, and it's going to be incomplete. That was intended for Omari Griffin, the running back, and he can't hold on to it.
Ill-advised right there. Throw would be better off Maldonado just to throw it away, not in the traffic. We got a flag on the far side of the field as well.
Get a look at it right here, and I think Highland Park started to figure out that this was going to be a screen pass.
Well,
again, our replays this quarter brought to you by Origin Bank. Every great
spot. First down.
Every great relationship has an origin story. So it is against Highland Park, and that's a tough one because it's an automatic first down.
Yeah, I was going to say, they had Nimitz was looking at first and goal about the 34-yard line, and their odds of coming up with that were slim and none, but now the defensive hold gives them a first down at the 23-yard line.
Still first and goal? Resets to first down. It's still first and goal to go. And this time Maldonado rolls to the right, wants to throw. Pressure's coming, and he throws this one. It's intercepted. That's going to be picked off by Carl Williams down at the 1-yard line.
And give Tommy Rossley credit. He's the guy putting heavy pressure on Maldonado, forced him to throw it before he wanted to. And because of Rossley's pressure, Carl Williams able to toe tap along the sideline at about the half-yard line for a Scott's interception.
There's Carl Williams right there with the helmet off, headed back over to the sideline and celebrating with some of his teammates. Almost 10 minutes.
10-minute drive.
16 plays. It went 52 yards and ends in a turnover.
And the Scots are going to start from about their 6-inch line, literally.
Well, Brennan Storr in there at quarterback. He's got two in the backfield with him. Turns, hands it off. This is going to be Wilson Axley on the first carry of the night for Highland Park's offense. He'll go 4 yards and takes it out to the 5-yard line.
That's a nice push on the first play of that drive. Scots needed that little breathing room, and they got it.
By the way, that was a great turnover for Highland Park. That turnover brought to you by Dr. Heinrich of Hilltop Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Great.
There's a catch by Grayson Schrank. He went up there and nabbed that one. Pulls it in. He's got a big first down, and Highland Park has some breathing room.
Boy, what protection by the offensive line. Brennan Storr standing back there has 5, 6, 7 seconds to survey the field. Nobody in his face. Nobody even close. Throws it out there a little bit high for Schrank, but Schrank, to his credit, goes up and gets it. First down for the Scots.
Highland Park again, first down. They'll go from their own 28-yard line. Here's Axley going up the middle. He's got a seam, and now he breaks to the outside. Watch Wilson Axley into Vikings territory up the right side, down to the 25, and finally shoved out of bounds on the far side by Carlos Bonilla and Nicholas Coronado.
Oh, what a run right there. Scots wanted to run the ball, and they are doing it right here. Little power play. They block down, pull Ogle around. Axley hits the hole and says, I'm up the sideline. Great block out in front by his buddy, Jackson Heiss.
This time it's going to be Jay Cox on the carry. He'll take it over the left side and grind out about 5, 6, 7 yards.
Again, in case you missed it, pregame, Jake Watts moved out to left tackle in place of Lawson Petty, who's dealing with a little bit of an injury. Ogle moves to guard. Pickleman moves to the right guard spot. Maroulis and Sweeney still at their normal spots.
Cox and Axley in the backfield. They'll flank. Storr fake the handoff. Storr's going to throw this one into the end zone. Has a receiver. It is incomplete. Intended for Jackson Heiss. And an incomplete pass brings up third and short yardage for the Scots.
So you don't see many passes. You think about this, Russell, this year. We don't see many passes. If Heiss gets his hands on it, he normally catches it. And that was one right there. He just couldn't haul it in. Went off the tip of his fingers right at the back of the end zone.
Dwaylen Ross defending on the play for the Vikings. Third down, short yardage for the Scots. They're converting at a rate of 47%. Nice. Jay Cox has the first down. In fact, he'll find it and slide right on up there to the 4-yard line. before he's taken down.
And all young running backs look at that hole created by offensive line, say, I can do that. What tremendous hole right there. Marulis, Ogle, Pickleman, and Cox explodes through it for a 12-yard gain.
That was Sakevian Gordwin, free safety, who came in to make the stop. He's the leading tackler for the Vikings. First and goal to go. This is Axley. He's going over right guard. Foul for the Scots.
Good to see Will Ogle get up. He got rolled up on a little bit on the back of his legs, and you always worry about that, but he's up and ready to go on the next play.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. Handoff, Jake Cox up the middle. Did he get in? Yes. Touchdown, Highland Park. That caps off a 98-yard drive for the Scots, and they're into the end zone. And it's a 6-0 Highland Park lead, and that touchdown brought to you by Bob Lilly Promotions.
And Russell, based on where that ball started, I don't think we'll ever see a longer drive for Highland Park, because it started at the it was 99 3/4 of a yard drive.
Jake Tansey steps in to kick the extra point, brought to you by Kensington Vanguard National Title. Splits the uprights. It's good. It's a 7-0 lead. Highland Park up with 19 seconds to play in the first quarter.
Well, it took...
We'll take a timeout. We're back for the kickoff right after this.
Here's the replay right here. Cox pounding in the end zone, gets hit right at the goal line, but muscles his way in with a little help from Sweeney and Axley. Good blocking up front, Marulis, Pickleman, Ogle.
School is fantastic. You feel you're involved in every step of the decision-making process. That really makes a big difference to me.
Discover our wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles at Sewell Cadillac or SewellCadillac.com.
Determination on the field breeds determination in life. Discipline needed on the court will be the same discipline that gets the job done. That's why Tailwater Capital is a proud supporter of the Highland Park Athletic Program, the winningest athletic program in the state of Texas. 11 Lone Star Cups, 112 state championships, and a commitment to excellence that serves its players for a lifetime. From the locker room to the boardroom, Scots find a way.
Our kickoff brought to you by Davidson Bogle Real Estate, and it's going to be bobbled down inside the 20-yard line. It'll be covered by the Vikings. They'll have it at their own 15-yard line. Coming up with the recovery there was DeWaylen Ross.
Hunter Thornton there to clean it up right at the end. But, yeah, it looks like, in all the films I've watched, Nimitz has more trouble on special teams than you can imagine. And we just saw it right there. We saw it on the punt. When they tried to punt, if the Scots hadn't run into the kicker, would have been an issue there as well.
Mike McAfee made a great point. The Scots came very close to trailing in a game for the first time this year as the Vikings were first and goal to go inside the 10-yard line. But the defense holds up, turns over the Vikings, and the offense takes it in from 99 yards out on that great drive. Pass into the right side is going to be incomplete. That goes over the head of the intended receiver. That was Billy Englert, the intended receiver. Second down now for the Vikings. And again, we mentioned it at the top of the broadcast, but Adam Rourke, number 9, not playing tonight. He'll sit out tonight's game. That means Ethan Burt getting the start at right corner for the Scots.
And we'll probably see a little bit of Mac Ballard as well, who's back from injury. Might see Mac at a cornerback at some point tonight.
Cormac Carroll in at nose guard now for Highland Park. Vikings on 2nd and 10. They're going to fake the handoff, and the quarterback dropped the ball, dove on it. That's going to be a loss on the play. 3rd down and long coming now for the Vikings.
Right, up front for the Scots, Judge Ellis, Cormac Carroll, Henry Richter.
It's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. And again, Highland Park with the lead 7-0 after that 99-yard drive just a moment ago. And Scott's doing a nice job of turning things around. They kind of got back on their heels just a moment in that first drive of the Vikings.
Give Nimitz credit. They did what they had to do to get the ball down the field. Russell, we've been joined by a couple of special guests in the press box. I'm going to give you my headset. You tell us who you are.
All right, our guests.
I'm Paxton Ayub.
Hey, Paxton, how are you? Who's this other guy?
Camden Ayub.
Camden and Paxton Ayub. Wow, how are you guys doing?
You guys are our special guests tonight. You got to go out for the coin flip. Somebody told me that you guys are twins. That can't be. Is that true?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How does that work? You don't look like each other.
We're fraternal. We're fraternal, and we're 20 seconds apart.
20 seconds apart? Who's oldest?
Me.
Wow. Wow.
I know.
All right.
My difference is hard.
It's the Baker Brothers replay. Team Baker Brothers scored a big one with its touchdown tune-up.
That unit sure has some cool moves.
I'll admit it, Jimmy. That's one super shuffle.
Free smart home thermostat with a new Lennox AC system.
Highland Park leads this football game. Stafford was under pressure, rolled to the left, threw 43 yards into the end zone for a prayer, and Highland Park comes down with the touchdown.
Whoa. Hello. Here comes the judge.
I'm telling you what, here comes the judge. That was Judge Ellis who stepped in there on that play and just...
Nimitz tries to sneak their running back through. Look at the little fake, and here comes Judge. Pancake. Great effort, Judge Ellis.
That is a tackle right there.
Hey, he'll feel that one tomorrow.
Just got the second quarter underway here at Highlander Stadium. It's homecoming night for the Scots, and on a fourth down, a punting situation for the Vikings. They get the punt off. Maldonado kicks it down. Jake Cox will field it. It is 44.
Here we go.
Line.
Here we go.
To the 30.
Here
to
we
the
go.
25. There's a flag thrown.
Here we go.
Jake Cox will return it. If it stands, it's a 43-yard punt return for a touchdown for Jake Cox. But again, a flag was thrown.
Let's see what we got here. But Jake Cox, tremendous job weaving through the traffic for his second punt return for a touchdown this year. Let's see if it holds up.
Well, looks like it's going to hold up. Maybe that was not a flag. And in fact, it wasn't. Jake Cox is going to get the touchdown. Brought to you by Bob Lilly Promotions. Kensington Vanguard National Title brings you the extra point. Tansey's been perfect on PATs all season long. And add to his total with that one makes it a 14-0 Highland Park lead. 11:06 to play in the first half. We're going to break. We'll be back right after this.
With almost 100 offices across the state of Texas and 50 of them in the DFW area alone, Capital Title is here to serve you. Made by Texans, for Texans. Capital Title is the largest independent title company in the United States. We are Dallas-born, Dallas-based, and family-owned. We support the Highland Park Scots.
Oh, say, little doggies, why don't you lay down? Lay down, little doggies, lay down.
It's not just what we wear. We are Cavenders, and this is how we live.
There we go. Our kickoff for Davidson Bogle Real Estate. Land is their business. It's going to be a short, high kick, and it's going to be caught right there at the 15-yard line. And this is going to be Sakavian Goodwin on the return, and he is going to get walloped right about the 14-yard line.
And that looks like Barrett Denton coming down there to make that hit, just like he does when he's out there playing safety. Barrett on the coverage team, you'll see him right. Oh, this is the punt return. Look at Jay Cox running into one of his teammates, yet still being able to accelerate down the sideline. Oh, get out of the way. Here we go. I'm going down his sideline for a TD.
Well, it's kind of nice when you get those big guys out in front of you to block for you, and he follows them so nicely into the end zone.
Yep, number 2 for the year.
Okay, Mike McAbee just handed me these numbers. Highland Park has run 8 offensive plays. They lead 14-0. Nimitz has run 19 offensive plays, and they have yet to score. Here we go. Vikings fake the handoff. Quarterback draw. Nice move by Maldonado. He'll fall to the turf at the 25. And a first down right there as he goes for 10 yards.
I'm impressed with Maldonado. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you are too. He's making some open field moves, like right there, a spin that is leaving the Highland Park defenders in the dust. You're gonna have to break down, shimmy down, and not give him the ability to spin out of tackles.
Replay brought to you by Origin Bank, and he slid down, so it's only a 9-yard gain, so second down and 1. They'll fill up that backfield this time. Here's Griffin. Robert Ramey, who reaches in there and makes first contact. He says there's been a fumble. The official says nope, ball was down already. It'll stay Nimitz football after the 8-yard pickup.
Yep.
7 first downs now for the Vikings.
Vikings are moving the ball. They're finding some room off tackle. They're faking the dive one way, coming back with the quarterback power the other.
First down coming up for the Vikings right here. This time Griffin will be off to the left of Maldonado. Snap back. Here's Griffin.
Yep.
Got some nice blocking out in front of him, and then he gets wrangled to the ground. Coming through there to pull him down is going to be Robert Ramey.
Help from William White.
William White right there. Those two guys last week combined for 22 tackles against Berkner.
Cookie, can you turn me up in my ears?
Second down coming up right here, and I believe Pat Sowers down with a guest. We'll go down to Pat here momentarily.
Everybody in the stands wants to talk to Pat Sowers.
I'm telling you.
They don't want Russell. They don't want Jim. They don't want Jay. They don't want Pat.
It is homecoming here at Highlander Stadium tonight. Here we go. Maldonado. Ball's loose. Highland Park's got it.
Scots have it.
Highland Park has it this time. Second turnover of the night. Scots will have it, and they'll start in Viking territory. Spencer Brown jumps on the loose ball.
And I'm not sure who knocked it free or whether it just was popped out, but Spencer Brown gets the ball and just deposits it in turnover can for Highland Park. That's a great tradition.
Henry S. Miller brings you this replay. Look at it right there. Ball gets stripped.
That's
William White who stripped it away.
William White grabbed a hold of that ball as he was making the tackle, visibly ripped it out. Spencer Brown gets on it. Scots are set up.
Scots will start at the 41-yard line. Long pass into the end zone. They've got a receiver. It's a touchdown.
Lilly.
How about Bo Lilly? 41-yard touchdown catch. Bo Lilly.
Wow, how about a little nonchalant catch right there? Lilly's got a yard on the defender, and he just nonchalantly puts out one hand and reels it in while he holds off the defender with the other. Tremendous catch.
41-yard touchdown catch by Bo Lilly. And Bob Lilly Promotions brings you that touchdown right there.
How appropriate is that?
Here's the extra point up and on the way. Tansey remains perfect on PATs this year. That point after, brought to you by Kensington, Vanguard, national title.
And again, lost in the great catch is the perfect pass thrown by Brennan Storr.
21-0, Highland Park up. We're in the second quarter as we take a timeout from Highlander Stadium. Back in just a moment.
Our name, Residential Capital Partners, reflects who we are and how we treat our customers, helping our customers build wealth through real estate. Residential Capital Partners, America's private lender.
Nick Regas has it teed up for Highland Park after they've gone up 21-0 on the Nimitz Vikings. Kickoff for Davidson Bogle Real Estate. High end over end kick. Sakivian will take it at the 20 and jump out of bounds. And that's where the Vikings will start at the 21-yard line.
I don't think Goodwin wanted anything to do with the Scots coverage team.
Let's take a look at that touchdown.
Look at this pass.
Brought to you by Henry S. Miller.
Hello.
Did he one-hand that?
I mean, I'm looking at this. He one-handed it, held the defender off with his left hand, one-handed it with his right.
Jay Ellis along the sidelines tonight for Willow Bend Mortgage. Jay, did he one-hand that?
From where I was standing, it sure looked like it. It was his right hand down low, sort of like just another pump of the arm running, but it happened to be going forward, and he just pulled it in between his hand and his wrist, and no bobble. You know, Bo Lilly just palmed it essentially. It was pretty impressive.
We've seen it sometime.
Willow Bend Mortgage, way better mortgage. We've got a timeout. It's going to be taken right here by Nimitz. While they take the timeout, we've got Pat Sauer, who has a special guest in the stands right now.
Okay, I have a very special guest here all the way from New Jersey, Carolee Jones. Hey, Carolee, who's the best player out there? What number?
44.
44. Charlie Barton is her grandson. And when you're normally at home, do you get to watch the games?
I do. I've watched them all.
How much fun is that all the way from New Jersey?
It's perfect. It's perfect. You guys are doing a great job.
Oh, thank you so much. I think those guys are superstars in the booth. And Jay and I, well, Jay's really good too. I just have a good time. But Carolee, when are you heading back, and when are you going to be here for another game?
I would love to be here for next week, but I am just staying for the weekend for homecoming.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Thanks. Have a great time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pat Sauer. His report's brought to you by Willow Bend Mortgage, a way better mortgage.
Pat Sauer, he's become the popular dude.
I'm telling you, they're all looking for him down there. After the Nimitz timeout, back to action now. They're going to spread their receivers and stack them both sides. Here we go on 1st and 10. Maldonado rolls, throws as a receiver. It's intercepted. Picked off, but he's out of bounds. It's going to be an incomplete pass.
Man. That's Carl Williams.
Carl Williams would have had his second of the night if the field was about a foot wider.
Wow. I mean, it's a great job by Carl Williams. Coach Eason, you heard him talk about Carl in the pregame, how much he's improved. Here's another look at that what we think is a one-handed touchdown catch. Let's see it.
Oh, there's a great look at it.
Yep, he's being held. Back arm is being held, and he hauls it in with his right.
That is a great camera work there, guys.
That's highlight video right there.
By the way, Henry S. Miller, the premier full-service commercial real estate company in the great state of Texas. Here's Griffin going around the right side, turns the corner. He'll run for 7 before Hunter Thornton comes in and upends him. It's going to bring second down in about 3.
Nimitz trying to stretch the Highland Park secondary, lined up in a stack almost within a foot of the sideline. So you have to move over your safety. Cornerback has to slide over. It opens up the inside run game a little bit more, they believe.
Amari Griffin now 7 carries, 41 yards, leading ground gainer for the Vikings. Set that tight end off to the left side. Play action now. Maldonado wants to throw. Had pressure coming, throws early, but it is complete. And I believe that's going to be Caden Holder who made the catch in the flat right side. And that's Wes Giese who comes in to stop him.
Wes Giese explodes out of his cornerback spot. You can see him right here. Maldonado sprints right, gets pressure from Cormac Carroll. Look at Giese exploding upward and knocks the receiver back 3 yards due to his contact.
Giese wears number 12. He's got 23 tackles on the season. It was enough for the first down, so they'll move the chains, and that's 8 first downs now for the Vikings. Fake the handoff. Quarterback's going to keep it. Kind of tiptoes through that offensive line out to the 36-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup. That's going to be Jack Morse. Robert Ramey will get in there and combine on the stop for the Scots defense.
Cormac Carroll in at nose guard for the Scots. Ellis and Richter, the defensive ends.
Homecoming tonight, so our halftime may go a little bit longer than normal.
Band will be after the game to allow homecoming queen nominees to be escorted out with their dads.
Here's Griffin. He'll pick up a couple, and then he gets stood up by a wall of blue jerseys. Highland Park thinks there's a fumble on the play, but the official says nope, he was down. 3 yards on the carry. Who's that coming off the bottom of that pile?
Carroll.
That is Cormac Carroll right there, 5'11", 205-pound junior.
Yeah, Cormac, he can handle himself inside. Down there fighting for that ball. Yeah, Jay Ellis says I think he's a wrestler, and he looked like it right there. He was rooting down there to try to get that ball out of that pile.
Vikings are 4 for 6 on third downs tonight. They've got 3rd and 3. They need to go just past the 41-yard line.
Let's see, sliding her dials up here.
Send a man in motion, reverse him. Quarterback's going to keep it, and he's right at that first down marker, but I think he's going to be short. Linesman has him at just past the 40-yard line.
And give credit to outside linebacker Hunter Thornton right there. He set the edge and squeezed down, and because he did, pushed his offensive lineman into the running path of Maldonado, who tripped because of it.
It's going to bring up a 4th down situation. They need just about 1 yard for a first down. Will the Vikings go for it with 5:38 to play in the half?
I bet they do, considering
the quarterback is also the punter.
Yep. And let's see.
His last punt went for 32 yards. Now Nimitz going to spend their second timeout and talk about it right here.
Highland Park's had great luck on short yardage plays. If you recall, Russell, torpedo into the knees of the offensive linemen where they can't move forward, create a pile, there's nowhere to run.
Coming up at halftime, you will hear our player profiles. And who'd you have a chance to catch up with this week?
I had a chance to catch up with Kyle Carlson on the defensive line, along with Brady Dotrieve and a big offensive tackle, Robert Sweeney. Great young men, and enjoyed really talking about Brady Dotrieve. Got a 4.3 GPA and is in a band and plays football. I couldn't do but one of those things. I think Brady's doing all of them.
If they go for it here on 4th down, it'll be the 18th time this season that an opponent has gone for it on 4th down against Highland Park. They've only converted 7 of those.
Pretty good odds. Oh, it all starts at the center. Let's see what Cormac Carroll can do.
Shift their lineup.
Here we go.
Here they go. Quarterback's going to keep it. He's got the first down.
Yeah, they got some push.
He got a little bit of a seam right over the right tackle and all the way down to the 43-yard line.
Well, because you're in the middle of the field, you can't just sell out, because if you do, the offense can go over the top with a deep pass. Down near the goal line's really actually probably easier because the field's compressed.
First down now from the 43-yard line for the Vikings.
How do you see?
Quarterback has already run for 23 yards tonight for Nimitz. Here they go. This is going to be Amari Griffin. Griffin breaks a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. He'll get this out to near the 49-yard line for the Scots. Robert Ramey is there.
Great inside.
Ethan Burt was also up there for the Scots.
Great inside-out pursuit by Robert Ramey, who's been hurt a lot of the season until the last couple of games. We're glad to have him back because he really bolsters that inside linebacking position right there. Charlie Barton almost made that play, but couldn't quite hold on. Ramey cleaned it off.
8th play of the drive coming up right here. This is a drive that has already gone 3.5 minutes, so another lengthy drive for the Viking offense. Yet they trail 21-0.
Yeah, they're slowly moving down the field.
From their own 49-yard line, Maldonado to throw, now under pressure. He averts the pressure and throws downfield. It's going to be incomplete. Intended downfield that time for Carlos Castillo.
And Ethan Burt's there in coverage, and he really could have lit up Castillo, but probably did the wise thing and pulled off and saved Castillo getting his head taken off.
Another 3rd down situation for the Vikings. from the left hash mark. Third down, they need 4.
You can see what we talked about. A lot of shifts, a lot of motion, trying to get the Highland Park defense to look at something they shouldn't.
There we go. They're going to give it to Griffin. And he's going to pick up the first down as he crashes down to the 45-yard line in to make the tackle, Jack Morris. Also got some help back there from Barrett Denton.
Barrett Denton doing a great job. He's one of those guys that loves to come up and make the big hit. Not afraid of contact. Plays safety like a linebacker.
Inside 4 minutes to play in the first half. Highland Park 21. Nimitz nothing. Nimitz under the direction of head coach Mark Small. Again, grew up, went to high school at Arlington Bowie, lives and has lived in the Nimitz area for quite some time, was promoted to head coach after Brian Rogers was promoted to athletics director. We've got an injured player down on the field now. That's one of the Highland Park Scots trying to shake it off down there.
Looks to be Kyle Carlson, probably.
This injury update brought to you by Dr. Field Scoville and the Carroll Clinic. Orthopedic surgeon, fellowship trained in sports medicine. Dr. Field Scoville.
Looks like Carlson may have a cramp based on how he's grabbing his leg. May be wrong about that, but it hopefully looked like a cramp.
Let's go to a quick commercial. We're back right after this. 21-0, Scots lead.
Swole is fantastic. You feel you're involved in every step of the decision-making process. That really makes a big difference to me.
Discover our wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles at Sewell Cadillac or SewellCadillac.com.
It's the Baker Brothers replay. Team Baker Brothers really stopped that running toilet in its tracks. No more running toilets.
Now that's what I call a bathroom break.
Okay, Jimmy.
Got a flag thrown on the snap of the ball, and that's going to be another procedure call against the Vikings offense.
Players on the offense, 5 yards to previous spot, first down.
And how many, Mike McAbee, how many false starts is that?
4 now.
4 false starts for Nimitz, which they cannot afford because their offense is not that explosive.
Jay Ellis along the sideline for Willow Bend Mortgage. We'll check in with him right after this play. To the penalty, and there was pressure coming from Charlie Barton. Forced the pass a little bit early, and it's overthrown. Kennedy, the intended receiver. And Jay Ellis along the sideline for Willow Bend Mortgage. Jay, your thoughts on what we've seen here in the first half so far?
Well, you know, I think the Scots were a little surprised that the Vikings were able to hang on to the ball as long as they did that first drive. And as you can see here, they're putting together a few first downs on this drive as well. But, you know, as we talked about before the game, I think this week was more about fundamentals and assignments rather than game planning and plotting. And so occasionally, you know, Highland Park, I've seen them stunt and run out of a hole a couple times, but I think the effort's still great and the results still been good. There's another good play in the backfield.
In the line of scrimmage, that's Judge Ellis who steps in there and makes the play for the Scots. We'll get a nice look at it right here on the replay.
Judge Ellis right there. Nope, you're not going anywhere. I'm going to bear hug you, and I'm going to rip the ball out, and I'm going to pick it up and go.
It's going to be a 3-yard loss. Scots will spend a timeout right here. They're going to try to get the ball back and add some points here in the first half. Up 21-0. And this is kind of what you want to do. You want to get out here and let your team figure things out. I think Jay was right in how maybe the Scots are a little bit surprised on how long the Vikings have been able to hold the ball.
Well, I think, you know, it's human nature. You can't, you know, Scots can read the paper too, and they look at the paper and see a 1-6 record, and it impacts you a little bit, even though you try not to let it. So, but you have to learn. Sometimes, again, coaches can't twist teams to get up for every game, and a lot of times the players themselves have to say, no, we're going to get ourselves ready to take care of business when the time comes.
By the way, Nimitz has had the ball for roughly 12 and a half minutes. Highland Park has had the ball for roughly 3 minutes, and the Scots are up by 3 touchdowns. Here we go. Throw downfield. It's going to be over the head of Kennedy, and that's incomplete. Trying a little trickery right there. Trying to get everybody to break down into the left flat, but Dautrieve and Ethan Burt defending on the play. And also there was pressure coming from inside to force Maldonado maybe to throw a little sooner than he wanted.
I think that's Charlie Barton coming up in there and making the pressure on Maldonado. Maldonado bound back to punt. Again, it's an adventure in punting. Let's see how the snap goes.
Here's Maldonado. He's got to run over and pick it up, and he is going to get it off. It's going to be a wobbler, but it's going to travel.
Whoa.
And Jay Cox will grab it before it rolls any further, or any farther, I should say. And it'll be down right around the 13-yard line.
And if you're watching at home, that's a great athletic play by the punter, Pedro Maldonado. The snap is way off to his left. He's got to go and spear the ball, get his composure back, and then avoid the Highland Park rush and punt the ball, and he does a tremendous job of that.
Scots have the ball, 2:36 to play. Highland Park will be running their 10th offensive play of the game. They're up 21-0. Vikings have had 36 offensive plays.
You see that?
Play action. Store to throw, goes long, has a receiver. That's Heiss. It's going to be a little too long, incomplete. He was triple covered that time.
Yep, they had him bracketed that time, Jackson Heiss. Store says, let's see if we can get a chance for you to go up and get one like Lilly did. Good protection that time. Right before the play, you see that Nimitz 3-3 defense. 3 down linemen and 3 stacked linebackers.
Colin Hale has checked into the game for Highland Park now. Here we go. Store fakes the throw. Now hands off, and Jay Cox has some running room. Jay Cox breaks into some open area. He broke 2 tackles and finally gets shoved out of bounds just shy of the 45. That was Sakavian Gordwin who came in and made the tackle and probably saved a touchdown.
Well, just a little delay, fake pass draw. Jay Cox gets some great blocking up front by Watts.
2 tackles missed.
Look at that stiff arm, 31-yard gain for number 5.
.221 to play now. Another play action situation. Store's got all day to throw.
Here we go.
Launches it. He's got a receiver wide open. That's caught by Heiss up the left side all the way down inside the 10-yard line. And wow.
Well,
Jackson Heiss was all alone.
That shows you, Russell, though, how much time the offensive line gave Brennan Store. Heiss has got to come all the way across the field, right to left, and he has plenty of time to do that and get open in the zone for a 48-yard gain.
Back-to-back plays of 31 and 48 yards and gives Highland Park a 1st and goal to go at the 8-yard line. They're now into the red zone, brought to you by Shelby American. 2 running backs in the backfield, handed off. This is going to be Axley up the middle, and Wilson Axley's into the end zone for the touchdown.
I don't think he got breathed on right there, Russell. Great block and power play to the right. Jay Cox kicks out the end. Offensive lineman blocked down, and there you see Axley giving a hug to his running back coach, Brian Gibbs.
Wilson Axley gets his first rushing touchdown of the season right there from 8 yards out. Here comes Jake Tansey. Again, has not missed a PAT all season long. This is up and on the way, and it is good. That's 37 of 37 PATs. Makes it a 28-0 lead as we go to break. Highland Park with the big advantage over the Nimitz Vikings.
We see you, early riser, paying the price, making your move. We see you because we are you. Entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs. As one of the few Texas banks participating in the Main Street Lending Program, Vista Bank is helping small businesses put America back to work. Isn't it time you join the over 1,500 new PPP clients and make your move to a bank that hustles as hard as you do? Vista Bank. People first.
with 2:06 to play in the first half here at Highlander Stadium. Across the way, we can see the lights over at Ford Stadium. SMU playing host to Navy tonight. And just past that, you can see some of the lights from the Great State Fair of Texas. Davidson Bogle Real Estate brings you this kickoff, fielded from the 13-yard line. And it's going to be brought out to about the 17-yard line, not much farther than that. Sam Webster comes in there to make the tackle on Christopher Hernandez.
Sam Webster, looks like Charlie Barton was going to make the play. Here you can see the touchdown one of the touchdowns right here of Cox. Pounding it in right there.
Jay Cox on that touchdown. They made it 21-0. Then Wilson Axley came through and scored on an 8-yard run to make it 28-0.
Carlson, Montgomery, Spencer Brown in down at the down lineman. Ballard, Thornton, Ramey, and Morse as at the backers. Burt, Giese, Williams, and Daughtry in the secondary. Ballard at corner,
Nimitz will call their last time out right here with 2 minutes to play. As let's go down to the sideline. Jay Ellis is there in his sideline reports tonight. Brought to you by Willow Bend Mortgage.
You know, the season is a long, strategic plan for Coach Allen, and every week it seems like we see a new facet. And what we started to notice last week was Wilson Axley taking the ball in between the tackles. Earlier in the year, it seemed like he was only getting the ball to the outside, but he looked really confident last week against Berkner, running north and south, or I guess at Highlander Stadium, I should say east and west. But we've seen it tonight. You know, he's getting the ball on quick hit handoffs and looks really powerful running up the middle, and it's just another dimension that's going to make it that much tougher for defenses to try to stop the Highland Park offense.
And Mortgage, your home for a way better mortgage. Thank you, Jay. Don't forget, Jay will be along with our post-game interviews, our player interviews, and Coach Allen as well after the game's over. Maldonado now off to the right side. Throws, has a receiver down there. That's caught at the 31. And on the reception, was that Billy Engler? Yeah.
14-40.
Billy Englert makes his, I think, first catch or maybe second catch of the night. First down from their own 30-yard line. 11 first downs now for the Vikings. Make it 12 first downs. As this is going to be caught right at the 40-yard line, and that's to Billy Englert again. Ethan Burt is back there to
make. He is a dual-threat quarterback. He can throw the ball adequately, and he's definitely a runner.
Castillo in the backfield will take the handoff, and Castillo will rumble forward for 1 full yard. That's going to be Spencer Brown in there on the tackle. William White is right there as well.
Spencer Brown really wrapped up that Nimitz running back, and White finished him off.
Mike McAbee's making fun of me saying he rumbled for 1 full yard.
Whoa.
Maldonado to throw. Right side, incomplete. That's Carl Williams defending on the play. That was Engel, who was it was Christopher Hernandez, the intended receiver. There's Carl right there. Get a good look at him.
Great coverage by Carl Williams right there.
Coach. Make a big play, you get a sticker to put on your helmet like that. You can see how many big plays he's made.
Yeah, and I always find it funny, by the time the Scots reach the playoffs, the starters, it looks like they got a white helmet because they've got so many stickers, and it's great to see.
3rd down and long.
Here comes pressure.
Maldonado to throw. Has a receiver. This is Hernandez who made the catch. He's going to be hit, breaks 1, and then he's going to be tackled. Coming through there to make the stop for Highland Park that was Kennedy on the catch.
Yes, Kennedy on the catch. Mac Ballard in coverage, but he got some cleanup help from Barrett Denton and from Jack Morse.
Scots will spend a timeout right here, hoping they get the ball back because it's a punting situation for the Vikings.
I stand corrected, not Jack Morris clean up, but Spencer Brown and Judge Ellis cleaning that up with help from Barrett Denton.
Well, let's take a look at this. Watch your monitor right here.
What do we got? Uh-oh, I know what that is.
That's Great State Fair of Texas. Whoa. I did have one a couple of weeks ago. Made it out to the fair.
Hey, but you can't hang.
I love.
You can't hang out
dogs.
in front of Fletcher's all day long.
I love corny dogs. Mike McAbee's asking, how many stands does Fletcher have at the State Fair? I don't know.
There's some counterfeit corny dogs.
There are.
You got to watch out.
I don't know. I will tell you this, though, that counterfeit foot-long corny dog.
Yeah, with jalapenos. Or
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Cornbread on it this year.
Oh, Jay Ellis, we're going to bring you into this conversation after this fourth down situation. They're going to go for it on fourth down. Maldonado to throw. Looks downfield, throws downfield. It's caught, and that's going to be a first down.
Oh, wow. I thought he was out of bounds.
That's going to be a first down. That's Christopher Hernandez who made the catch, a little down and out.
Yeah, just a little corner route. I mean, Maldonado's got to throw it a long way and lays it up over the top. It's a nice pass. But from our angle, again, we're across the field, though. Looks like he might have been out of bounds. Let's see. That's right. He had 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and picking up the foot that was in as he catches the ball.
Henry S. Miller brings you our second quarter replays. In trouble, Maldonado's going to be sacked. He had no place to go. The pressure was coming from in front of him and behind him. Jack Morris is there. Spencer Brown is there. And they combine for a quarterback's
There you can
sandwich.
see it. Boom! Brown and Morse just, as you said, sandwich in between the two of them.
Henry S. Miller, methods change, principles endure, service and integrity since 1914. That is Henry S. Miller, the right call for commercial real estate.
Well, Maldonado pulled it back, and when he did, it was the green light for Morris and Brown.
Likely the last play of the game. 9 seconds on the clock. Of the half. Last play of the half, likely right here. Maldonado in trouble. He's going to get sacked again. And that will wind the clock down. There is a flag thrown.
It's going to be holding against Nimitz, I feel sure, because the offensive line for Nimitz had no choice but to grab Judge Ellis along with, was that Cormac Carroll, Spencer Brown? Judge is off consoling one of his buddies. I think it's Carter Noonan, young Carter Noonan, a junior.
Here comes the call.
Holding on the offense. There's a 10-second runoff. That is halftime.
Well, that's going to bring us to the break here at Highlander Stadium. It's been all Highland Park on the scoring side of things. As far as time of possession, that's all belonged to the Vikings tonight. But the Scots go into the locker room here at halftime up 28-0. Our halftime activities will get underway in just a moment as we go to break, taking a look at the Cotton Bowl and the Great State Fair. Would you ride that, Jim?
I have ridden that, and I probably wouldn't ride it again, especially after a corny dog.
School is fantastic. You feel you're involved in every step of the decision-making process. That really makes a big difference to me.
Discover our wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles at Sewell Cadillac or SewellCadillac.com.
Determination on the field breeds determination in life. Discipline needed on the court will be the same discipline that gets the job done. That's why Tailwater Capital is a proud supporter of the Highland Park Athletic Program, the winningest athletic program in the state of Texas. 11 Lone Star Cups, 112 state championships, and a commitment to excellence that serves its players for a lifetime. From the locker room to the boardroom, Scots find a way.
Highlander Stadium tonight for homecoming festivities for Highland Park. But first, the Nimitz band will be on display. Let's talk a little bit about that first half. I'll tell you what, Nimitz showed that they're not going to roll over in this game. They came out and went on a 98-yard drive, and then turned it over, and Highland Park got it back and went on a big drive to get on the scoreboard first.
And don't discount that win that Nimitz got last week against their arch rival Irving, because that gave them the momentum and the confidence they need to do what they did to start the game tonight.
Makes a big difference when you get that first win of the season, doesn't it?
Oh, gosh, it's huge. Especially, at Highland Park, you never think about it because there's so many wins. But if you're 0-6 and you finally break through against your arch rival Irving, there's nothing better than that for a new program to inspire them. And I think we're seeing it, why Maldonado is playing so well tonight.
Again, Highland Park up 28-0, and we've got our player profiles, and we've got halftime stats still to come in a moment as well. But let's get to our player profiles, because you had a chance to visit with three guys. We'll listen to before we do that, we're going to go to highlights, apparently, and let's take a look at some of the action from the first half. Scots with 4 touchdowns.
To the Nimitz safety. And how about number 2?
How about Jay Cox again? This came off of a punt return, and he just follows his blockers up the right side. It wasn't a very good punt. He fielded it right around the 45-yard line of Nimitz and then returns it for the touchdown.
Jay Cox is always a threat fielding the ball on a punt.
How about the one-handed touchdown catch? Bo Lilly.
Wow. That we'll see that again at the banquet. No matter how far the Scots go, that is a highlight catch.
There it is. Look at it.
One-handed. Ooh. Wow.
2 weeks in a row, we've seen some really big highlight catches by the Scots. And that was Bo Lilly right there. And then the final touchdown for the Scots, Wilson Axley.
And he's not touched. He's in the end zone.
Yes, sir. I'll take it right up there, and
look at the
we'll
block.
Put it on the clock. And
Cox gets the kick out. Sweeney and Pickleman get the down block.
Our thanks to Henry S. Miller, the right call for commercial real estate and a proud supporter of Highland Park Scots. And with the Scots up 28-0. After this, you're listening to and watching Highland Park Scots football.
With almost 100 offices across the state of Texas, and 50 of them in the DFW area alone, Capital Title is here to serve you. Made by Texans, for Texans. Capital Title is the largest independent title company in the United States. We are Dallas-born, Dallas-based, and family-owned. We support the Highland Park Scots.
Attention Highland Park Scots and SMU fans, football is back at Highlander and on the Hilltop. And so is your favorite neighborhood burger joint, Goff's Hamburgers. It's the same burgers, same fries, hot dogs, and chicken you loved as a kid, but now in a brand new location. Goff's is now on Mockingbird between SMU and Central Expressway. Drop in for that unmistakable charcoal grill taste. Host a private party in the back room, or hang out and enjoy the Highland Park and SMU memories hanging on the walls. Goff's Hamburgers, proud supporter of the Highland Park Scots. Back at Highlander Stadium on homecoming night, the Scots up 28-0, and Jim had a chance to catch up with 3 of the Highland Park Scots. Let's go to our player profiles and listen in on their conversation.
Welcome to the 2022 edition of the Highland Park Scots Player Profile. Each week here at halftime, we'll be joined by 3 or 4 of the Scots' key contributors to hear their thoughts of the season and that week's upcoming opponent. Tonight, as the Scots prepare for a homecoming battle with the Nimitz Vikings, we're joined by 2 key members of the Highland Park defense, along with one of the mainstays of the Highland Park offensive line. They are defensive end Kyle Carlson, safety Brady Dautrieve, and offensive tackle Robert Sweeney. Guys, thanks very much for being with us. Well, fellas, you're coming off a very impressive 38-17 Thursday night win over Richardson-Berkner last week. But I bet the roots of what you did last week were in the previous week's workout after the Jesuit game. That game left a lot of good and bad probably in a lot of players' minds. Tell us what you guys were determined to do after that game in preparation for Berkner last week. Brady, we'll start with you.
So first half of last 2 weeks ago against Jesuit, we played a great half and we had them 0 at the half, but then we started letting up towards the end. So practice before Berkner, Coach Leidner was just emphasizing finishing the fight, and that was our slogan for the week. So we were just trying to finish the fight and just make sure we play all 4 quarters equally throughout the game. So like throughout the week, beginning practice, middle, and we're trying to be as consistent as we could so we can just play the game like the same throughout.
Right. And Brady, what any thoughts on is that just sometimes when you get up 35-0, I know most people think the game's over, but obviously Jesuit plays tough just like you guys do. Was it kind of an eye opener for you?
I mean, it really was, because we haven't seen much like that this year yet. Last year we had a few instances like that, which we fixed and corrected. But like against Jesuit, I mean, a good team like that, they're going to show that they're not going to stop fighting, because the good teams are the teams, whenever you're up by a lot, they're still going to keep playing. They're going to play up to your level and they're going to play better than you maybe. So you just got to stay locked in and keep playing the game.
Right. And Kyle, same thought for the defensive line. I know you guys take a lot of pride in what you do up there. Anything different from the defensive line perspective?
Well, yeah, like going back to what Brady said, the biggest theme from Coach Leidner was finishing the fight. And from a defensive line perspective with Coach Burt watching us in film, he just really tried to push to us that the fourth quarter is the most important, because that's where we see what we're made of. And one of the things he really pointed out, though, was the hustle and what to do whenever you're tired, and how teams like Jesuit, and how we're going to see, even better teams like that later in the playoffs, how they don't care whenever you're tired. So we had a lot of fun Coach Burt drills last week at practice, to say the least. Definitely won't be jogging anymore.
Our Coach Burt drills legendary, no matter what?
Coach Burt drills are always the most fun and the most enthusiastic in the way that they make you want to throw up after, but they definitely get the job done.
Well, I would imagine if you work that hard in practice, the games become pretty easy. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes, sir. You always got to practice harder than you play, so that way by the time you get to the game, it's easier than what you had to practice.
Exactly. And Robert, moving over to the offensive line, tell us from an offensive standpoint your thoughts on the Jesuit game, and then how it spurred you on to greater things against Berkner.
Kind of feeding off what they said, the main moral, I guess, of last week was consistency is key. And because we need to finish through games, because as we can see, things can happen late in the fourth quarter, late in the second half, that can make a game closer than it originally was. So we need to be able to still score the ball, drive the ball down the field, and all that. So, yeah, definitely consistency is key.
Right. And did you, when you got to see the Berkner game and the way you guys played, do you think it hit home with a lot of guys on offense?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, did you think your preparation prior to the Berkner game, do you think it paid off?
Yes, sir. We all played a complete game. We all played pretty good, I'd say, for the entirety of the game. We got Tuesday in late, so that's always fun. Yeah, it was a great game.
Right. And, Brady, one of the things that impressed me this year about the defense is you guys really fly around a bunch. But you fly around in practice too. Tell me how there's just not many guys I see out there, even third and fourth teamers, that aren't going 100% full speed. Has that been something you guys have developed long ago, but in the off season?
The first thing I think about whenever you're saying that, coaches, they call it loafs. And after our Jesuit game, we definitely got chewed out for those loafs. And that's whenever, if there's a play happening and the ball's not on the ground yet, the whistle hasn't been blown, you just got to be sprinting to the ball, just always. So in practice, whether it's 7-on-7, scout team, and we can just be going against anyone, the coaches will emphasize not loafing. Mm-hmm. And if there's a play that we might get beat on by the scouts, or we'll have a bust or something, we'll make a mistake, we'll have to do up downs after the play, which make us more tired. Right. And that'll make us want to, I guess, loaf more on the next play, but we know we can't. So it's just kind of drilling the idea into our mind that we can't ever loaf like that. So the practice will translate over to the game. Right. And Kyle, you guys, especially on the defensive line, I think are in a very fortunate position that you got 4 or 5 guys that all, maybe more than that, who all can roll in and keep you guys fresh and keep you going 100%. How much has that helped y'all so far this year, and how much do you think it's going to help you down the road?
Yeah, that's definitely an advantage we have over opposing teams' offensive lines, where we can keep rotating in fresh legs every series. And if they are holding the ball for a long time, then we can rotate mid-drive, which is also really helpful. So essentially we're able to go full speed on a lot more plays, basically every play, because we were never really tired. Now, the Jesuit game, we were the Jesuit was going tempo on us, so it made it more difficult to rotate, but we still get every series to get a chance to get a breather and then go in if we need to. Like, we have multiple, not only do we have two depths of D linemen, and you said 4 or 5 guys, but we really got 7 guys. And because we can rotate, Lewis, and then we can also rotate Blake and Turner and nose behind them, and those 2 split time as well. So it gives really good versatility with the different people that get to go in, and it just throws the offense in a loop a lot. Right.
Well, I know, probably if I were to ask most football players in high school, do you want to play every down? They say, well, of course. But have you seen the value in this type of setup with so many guys that can each do their part?
Yeah, definitely. And I think that all of us are very capable of playing on a varsity level. And I think all 7 guys are capable of playing in a playoff level too. Right. And I think having that versatility in the long run is really, really, really helpful for us. And I think it's the most beneficial thing for the team. And everybody in the D-line is in agreement with that, and they're all unselfish about it. And it's just a really good, advantage we have over offensive lines, late in the fourth quarter.
Sure. And Robert, moving over to you, talk about being unselfish and doing the dirty work a lot of times for the running back, so they can get through the hole and make the big run. Talk to us about the offensive line and how you guys have gelled together. You're 6-0. Tell us about what you guys have done to improve every week.
Starting from week 1, we just identified weaknesses that we had originally, and we worked on them like as an individual lineman, each position during our individual time in practice, and doing that each week really helped us progress our knowledge of the game and help us flow easier as a unit. If we each improve on our individual, so if we each improve on our individual stuff, we flow better together as a unit.
Right. So, tell I know you work right side by side with Whit Basso, and I've watched you guys in practice, and it seems like you guys play off each other a lot, or you depend on each other a lot. Talk to us about that relationship.
Yeah, me and Whit, we like to mess around with each other and like joke around, but when it gets to the line, it's all business. Like if I don't notice something, he'll make a call for me, and vice versa. It's really fun getting to play next to a lineman that knows what he's doing basically 100% of the time and knows all his calls, and he gets everything down. It's very consistent, and that helps me out a lot.
Right. My favorite drill to watch in practice is when Kyle and his group come over to the offensive line group, and I don't know what you call ones-on-ones or whatever, but one defensive lineman will go and one offensive lineman will have to try to protect, and nobody knows who that is. At least on the offensive line, what guy's coming. I'm sure Kyle ends up lining up on you sometimes, as well as Judge or whoever else. How much? I would think you guys, even though it's difficult, you both sides have to get a lot of benefit out of that. Robert, we'll go to you first.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the more difficult drills, knowing that you don't know if the D lineman on you is going to rush or not. So you take your first couple of sets, see if your guy's going. If he's not going, you stop. But if he goes, it's go time. You got war. Oh yeah, definitely. It's border war. You got it. But
Kyle, from your point of view, is that again? I would think you guys get as much benefit out of that as Robert and his group.
Oh yeah, I love pass rush. It's a lot of fun. It's probably one of the most fun parts of practice for me. And then recently we've been actually flipping D-line. So now me and Spencer will switch from left to right, and then Judge and Richter will switch from left to right. And then we do it on Monday and Tuesday. So Monday, me and Spencer switch left and right outside, and then flip left and right inside, and then Judge and Richter also flip. So now we're really getting to throw the O-line in a loop. And, it's really good. I think pass rush is really beneficial to us in that we're getting better from it each week. And I get to go against, guys like Sweeney and Watts and all them. And Basso, really good competition.
Right. Well, you're an equal opportunity defensive end, I guess. You're not going to be all over on Robert's side. You flip over to Lawson's side too, some.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, a couple of individual questions. We'll come back. Brady, we'll start with you. We know your brother played here a couple of years ago. You told me before we started that he's now at Georgia. I noticed that you are, when you're not playing football, you're in a band. Tell us about that and how long you've done that and how much time that takes.
Yeah. So, I've been playing guitar since about 5th grade. I started taking lessons, and one of my buddies, Jack Wall, he's been probably playing since 2 years before me. So I'd say 3rd grade. Yep. And we would kind of just hang out and play guitar together. And we just had the idea, like, it'd be cool if we had a band. We can just play for people. So we were just thinking about it. And then another one of our good friends, William Pitzer, and Jack Wall and William Pitzer, they're both Scotsmen now.
Yeah.
So y'all see them on the field on Friday nights. And William Pitzer got a drum set for Christmas one year. We went over on Christmas Day, just started jamming out and playing. And we're like, we want to do something with this. So we got a little instructor. His name is Jim, and he helps us out every single Saturday. So we'll have Saturday practice for football in the mornings. And then immediately after that, I'll go home and then I'll head over to William's house and we have our band practice. And that's how we got our day started on Saturdays.
So have you performed for your teammates at any function, or they didn't hire you for the highlights dance or for that, whatever that first dance of the year is?
Not specifically for our teammates, but I think last year around Christmas time, after the football season ended, we had a concert at Flatbread Pizza, and that's a restaurant on.
There was part of our interview with 3 of the Highland Park players. We want to bring you back because we want to get the performance of the Bells here at Highlander Stadium. Halftime, 28-0.
Dunston, Shelby Sides, Addison Renfro, Logan Perrette, and Sophie Bishop. For your halftime entertainment, the Bells will perform a hoop routine to Take Control. Is the proud sponsor of the 2022 team. The Highland Bells are under the direction of Mrs. Shannon Phillips. Associate Director is Mrs. Emily Sanchez. And Assistant Director is Mrs. Berkeley Slover.
1924, SPSS has graduated over 39,000 students, and we're proud of our alumni who go forth to serve. As part of the homecoming tradition of EHS, we invite former football captains and homecoming queens celebrating milestone years to join us at this special halftime ceremony. We are proud of our Scots, and we would like to introduce you to them tonight. Celebrating 60 years from being crowned homecoming queen, we welcome homecoming queen Susie Growth Rhodes. Susie attended college at SMU, is a mother to 3 children and 9 grandchildren. Susie loves to spend time with her family and loved going to homecoming with her high school sweethearts, Tom Rhodes. Joining Susie from the class of 1962, football captain David Shuford. David attended college just across town at SMU and loves to fish and hang out with his grandkids. David recalls high school as a great time on the field and in the classroom. Class of 1962 football captain Doug Urquhart. Doug is the father to 2 children and 7 grandchildren. Doug loves to golf and spend time at Cedar Creek Lake. He loved getting to follow 2 older brothers through Highland Park. Moving on to celebrate 50 years from being crowned homecoming queen, class of 1972 homecoming queen, Dr. Bonnie Jericho Baldwin. Bonnie is a plastic surgeon in the cosmetic surgery practice. Bonnie loved being on the field and supporting fellow Scots as a cheerleader. Joining Bonnie from the class of 1972 is football captain Hottie Peck. Hottie loves to ski and married his high school sweetheart, Carolyn, and they first met in the class of 1982, crowned homecoming queen Mary Sowell Shellmeyer. Mary loves to play pickleball, tennis, and the piano. She loved getting to be a part of such kind and talented class. Breaking tackles on the field from the class of 1982 is football captain Hal Watson. Hal and his wife Nancy, who graduated from Highland Park in 1980, are celebrating their wedding anniversary tonight. Hal currently serves on the HP Sports Club board as its webmaster. Go to hpscots-.com and download it free, an electronic copy of tonight's Scots Illustrated program, courtesy of HP's official booster club. Member stretched with his teammate Philip Worthen, and thanks to Coach Beavers for all the memories. Joining Hal in class of 1982, football captain Philip David Worthen. Philip founded Polaris Realty Investments and loves to hunt and fish. He finally remembers and blowing up stuff in AP chemistry. Celebrating 30 years of Friday Night Football, the class of 1992 football captain Billy Crane. Billy is currently a minister in Kerrville, Texas, and attended University of Texas. He loved to wrestle and play football in high school. Joining Billy in class of 1992 is football captain Carter Vogel. After attending University of Kansas, Carter returned to Dallas and works in data analysis. Carter loves to exercise and read in his free time. He remembers all the friends he made at Highland Park as one of his fondest memories.
Class of 1992 football captain Doug Wilkes attended college at TCU. Go Frogs. He remembers one of his best memories in high school being Coach Jones' pep rally speech, poking that dog through the fence with a stick. Pep rally speech. Oh, God. Celebrating 20 years of being crowned Class of 2002 homecoming is Elizabeth Hill Jordan. Elizabeth has 3 kids and attended Wake Forest University. Elizabeth loved winning cross country and track with Coach Sutterfield. Making touchdowns on the field is Class of 2002 football captain Charlie Berry. Charlie is the father of Ellie and another baby on the way in December. He is a singer and songwriter in Nashville. He remembers the Friday night football experience as his favorite part of high school. We all agree with you there, Charlie. Joining Charlie from the class of 2002 is football captain Bill Foran. Bill is engaged to his fiancée, Kristen. Congratulations, Bill. He attended Princeton University and the Highland Park, a big win. Joining Bill and Charlie from class of 2002 is football captain Colby Hollingsworth. Colby lives in the great Bay City of Corpus Christi and currently has a baby on the way. He recalls Friday being one of the best parts of high school. Celebrating being a Scot is Rob Rain, 2002 football captain. Rob attended Washington and Lee College and currently resides in Spartanburg, South Carolina. He remembers spending time with lifelong friends and learning from great teachers in high school. Just 10 years ago, the class of 2012 chose homecoming queen Catherine Stouffer. Catherine attended the University of Texas is an interior decorator and writer in San Diego. She loved being in student council, competing in the state swim meet, and watching the sunrise mornings after graduation. Joining her tonight is class of 2012 football captain Ethan Beasley. Ethan currently lives in Dallas and loves watching the Cowboys and Longhorns play football. His favorite memory from high school was completing a game-winning comeback drive against Mesquite Poteet and celebrating at Whataburger after the game. Okay. Well, thank you all for coming out tonight, and let's give a round of applause to our alumni, captains, and homecoming queens. Go Scots! Okay.
Well, back at Highlander Stadium, again, it is homecoming. You saw all the classes being recognized and from years past. And here in just a moment, we will have the crowning of the 2022 homecoming queen here at Highlander Stadium. The homecoming court tonight being made up of Marin Davenport, Greer Dunstan, Kennedy Foy, Vivian Jen, Hattie Patterson, Mary Ellen Schulcroft. initial cough. Apologize for that. Jay Ellis along the sideline down there. Jay, kind of a special night here at Highlander Stadium.
As Russell, you know, we saw captains and homecoming queens from a lot of different years. 10 years ago, 2012, and each 10-year period. The ones who I got a special kick out of seeing were from the 1982 football team, Hal Watson and Philip Worthen, who are two guys I enjoyed watching as I was growing up and who I had the fortune of getting to know as an adult. And they were great Scots, and it's great about this tradition of celebrating those who were doing the same things years and years ago that these students are doing tonight. And the other great part of this tradition, and as Coach Allen mentioned, that he and his daughter experienced back when they were at Abilene Cooper, is the opportunity for these dads to escort their daughters out to midfield and be recognized by the entire home crowd before the crowning of the homecoming queen. And I've got to guess who I think it is, but I'm not going to tell you all because they're involved in numerous extracurricular activities. They're all leaders and great kids, and so it's fun for our community to come together and celebrate their success and their leadership.
And Jay, I was fortunate enough to get to coach Worthen and Watson when you were probably a little kid watching, and they were two great players. Hal Watson, offensive tackle, did a great job following John Barnes, and then Philip Worthen, a defensive end who was everywhere on the field on defense.
Well, they both, I know that Hal ended up playing at a little school in Boston, and I feel like, did Philip play a little bit at Texas A&M? I'm not certain about that.
He may have walked on and played a little bit, and I know Hal played up in I thought it was Ivy League, but I may be mistaken.
It was. He played at Harvard, 83 to 87.
Well, then no wonder he's your boy.
That's right. I got to know him a little bit here in town after those days, but he's a quality guy. And also, you know, he's one of the reasons that the sports club has had as much success as it has. A few years back, he was in charge of the technology for the Highland Park Sports Club, and I know, or at least I believe, he was the first to sort of bring the sports club into this century with a great web page, and I think he still is involved in hosting.
I remember that. It's great to see all the old homecoming kings and queens from previous years.
We're going to listen as the homecoming queen is announced here from the public address announcer.
We will now recognize the 2022 homecoming queen. Congratulations to all the nominees, who are all fabulous ladies who represent Highland Park High School with excellence each and every day. This year's homecoming queen is Vivian Ginn.
Hey, Russell, I'd love to tell the audience a little bit about our new homecoming queen.
Absolutely. Vivian Ginn is the homecoming queen 2022.
Yeah, Vivian Ginn is captain of the girls basketball team. She's because I have a son the same grade, I've watched her play basketball since she was little. And truth be told, she was better than most of the boys at Armstrong. And we would have won more games in the Y if we could have had her on our team. Vivian is just an amazing kid. And, the student body really loves her. And, man, I'm just excited for her.
Well, it looks like all the other girls are as happy for her as they would have been if they got it, all giving her hugs. So she's obviously well loved.
Absolutely, and her parents are very proud. I know they go to everything, and Jenny Ginn and young Ginn are just two really amazing people who've raised an amazing daughter. So congratulations to the Ginn family.
All right, you see the Highland Park Scots out of the locker room. We're just about ready for the third quarter to get underway. The far side of the field, the Nimitz Vikings have come back out. We're almost ready to get the third quarter started. It was all Highland Park in that first half, up 28-0. Mike Maccabee joins us. He's our statistician. And, Mike, I know you've got a quick look at some of the numbers, and you were saying they're a little bit interesting to look at.
Well, obviously, when you have one team has 3 minutes and 7 seconds of possession time in the first half, you think, okay, well, we've got a 28-0 ball game. It's going to be in favor of the other team, right? Wrong. Highland Park has scored 28 points holding the ball for just 3 minutes. They've run only 13 offensive plays, 227 yards. That's an average of 17 yards per play. 2 turnovers, of course, by Nimitz, big points in the game. The long possession time of the 20 minutes, but yet they've only been able to put together just over 100 yards of total offense. It's or 172 yards total offense. It's just Highland Park's doing its damage very quickly and then letting Nimitz do its thing. And here we go.
Yeah, the other part of it is that 6 penalties for 45 yards for Nimitz, and they came at costly times. Here is the return. That's Bo Lilly. He's all the way out to midfield. Bo Lilly is going to take this one down to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, touchdown. He'll return it all the way for a touchdown, 93 yards. Highland Park opens the second half, returning the kickoff. And the Scots add another 6 to the board. Look at this.
93-yard return. Look at that stiff.
He breaks one and then outruns everybody. Gets a horse collar at the end of the play, but he still makes it into the end zone for the touchdown. That's a punt return for a touchdown tonight. Now a kickoff return for a touchdown tonight for the Scots. That's our first kickoff return for a touchdown this season for the Scots. That touchdown brought to you by Bob Lilly Promotions, proud supporter of Highland Park Scots since 1999. And how about that?
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Scots extend their lead out 35-0 as Jake Tansey comes on and converts that PAT.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Boy, that was a huge play.
Check 1 2.
For the Scots. Always come out of the locker room. You know, you're always looking for something to happen in the third quarter. Highland Park has scored on their opening possession of the third quarter in every game this year.
Didn't waste any time.
Didn't waste any time tonight.
Check 1 2.
Getting into the end zone really quickly.
Okay. Yeah, Russell, you're right. You're looking for scoring drives. No plays. Just 93 yards. Bo Lilly.
and that was a what is that? 14 seconds? Yeah.
Yeah, 14
so
seconds.
The Scots have now had the ball for 3 minutes and 21 seconds.
How did you like Bo's stiff arms along the way?
Yeah.
Those were lost a little bit, but he quickly chugged off 2 guys that were coming up to make a tackle with a stiff arm like a running back.
Kickoff brought to you by Davidson Bogle Real Estate, and the ball is going to bounce inside the 5-yard line. This is going to be taken back into the end zone, and he's in trouble. Sakavian's going to get tackled, and that's going to be a safety. That's going to be a safety. Highland Park adds another 2 as Sakavian Godwin brought it out and then went back into the end zone and can't get out.
Wow, that's again one of those plays that if you're struggling as a team, this is what it epitomizes it. You can't make mistakes like this. And right there, running back into the end zone, it probably could have kneeled it down, but trying to run it out. And is that Judge Ellis making the play?
Trying to get a number on who that is.
No, that's not Judge. That's 35. That's 30. That's right there. Connor Cornell. Connor Cornell wrapping up the safety that time and add to Nimitz miseries, to add to their miseries, now they get to kick off to the Scots from the 20. So I've always thought a safety, you get double whammied.
Exactly.
Not only do you give up 2 points, but you got to kick it off from your 20-yard line, which is going to give the opponent, the Scots in this case, tremendous field position.
Hey, well, let's go down to the sideline. I believe Pat Sauer's got a special guest for us. And, Pat, you ready to go down there?
Stand up. Yes, you have to stand up. Hello, I have Ryan and Laura Thornton, Hunter Thornton's mom and dad. So you thought you were going to get to see defense because we scored on the kickoff, but now we get to see offense. What do you think about that, the start to the second half?
I think it's a great start, you know. I mean, great safety back there. I mean, we got these kids going. I mean, it's fun to watch them.
Okay, Laura, tell me what position your son plays.
He plays outside linebacker.
Okay, do you like it when the ball goes up the middle or the outside?
Here we go.
For sure.
Here we go.
Holy cow, there goes Bo Lilly again.
This time, Bo Lilly's going to go 65 yards on the return. And this is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this to start a second half.
Well, we can close the polls because I know one player of the game. His name's Bo Lilly. Look at this return right here. Feels it going backwards, sees the seam, and just explodes right there, leap over the quarterback, trying to make the tackle for Nimitz. And Bo Lilly scores his 3rd touchdown of the night.
Here comes our extra point for Jake Tansey, up and on the way. Brett Kennedy and Peter McGuire with Kensington Vanguard National title bring you that PAT. Go ahead, Pat. You can finish up. Go ahead.
I still got him. So if we can get this in between scores here, because I think we've scored on like 3 plays straight. So Laura, do you like it when they go up the middle or on the outside? What's your preference?
My preference is the outside because it's easier for me to watch them, but I love watching all of those amazing boys do the tackles.
Okay, so what'd y'all feed him for pregame?
What did he eat? A lot of hamburgers.
Okay. Thanks a lot, guys. Enjoy the game.
Thank you very much, Pat. And sideline reports for Willow Bend Mortgage. Your way for a way better mortgage, Willow Bend. Wow, this is crazy.
I'm telling you, it is.
34 seconds in and not an offensive snap of the football.
But how many points? 16 points and not a snap of the offensive ball. The great thing about this is it puts all future opponents on guard. You know, like, hey, fellas, you may worry about the Highland Park offense. You may worry about their defense, but you better not overlook the special teams. Jay Cox on a punt return. Lilly on 2 kickoff returns. What more can you ask?
We're going to check in with his dad here in just a second. Davidson Bogle Real Estate brings you the kickoff. High end over end. This is going to go out of bounds. And let's see if they'll mark it. Make them kick it again. I think they're going to mark it.
I may move it up to 35 and just take it there, but we'll see.
Pat Sauer's down with another special guest. Pat, take it away.
This is so fun, Bob. And Julie, stand up too. Your dad didn't make it tonight.
No, he had a little surgery, so he's recovering, watching it on TV.
Okay, did he miss anything tonight?
Maybe a little bit. I don't know what's going on here.
Hey, we're having some fun, aren't we, Julie?
Oh, my goodness. This is quite a night.
Whatever he ate for lunch today, we're feeding him that.
We got to feed him that.
Yeah. What was it? Do you remember?
I don't know.
All right, thanks, guys.
But find out what it was, and you can give it to him and spread it around the rest of the team.
No.
Pedro Maldonado on first down, and he goes off the hands of the receiver. Intended that time for Caden Holder. And off of his fingertips, 2nd down and 10 coming up. You know, Granddad Bob.
Oh, yeah.
He's wishing had a one-handed touchdown catch in the first half, and then 2 returns for touchdowns here in the second half.
I don't know this for sure, but I would venture to say that's a Highland Park record.
2nd down and 10. Vikings with the ball. They'll keep it on the ground. This is Luciano Duran. He'll break it out, finds a little bit of running room before Charlie Barton takes him to the turf. It's going to be a 7-yard pickup. 3rd down now.
Nice little gain there for And Nimitz, as they try to get their breath back again after the onslaught by the Scots.
I was going to say, coming out, you're thinking, let's try to put something together. We had the ball for so long in the first half, and you just feel like you got gut punched.
Yeah, you just feel like you got taken to the cleaners, just literally.
5 for 10 on third down conversions tonight. Maldonado will keep it and will get the first down. They're going to give him the 40-yard line, so they'll move the chains. And a 1st and 10. It's their 15th first down of the game. Highland Park only has 8 first downs. And again, time of possession
is ridiculous.
Overwhelmingly in the Vikings' favor. Highland Park has 8 first downs. They've only run 13 offensive plays, but they averaged almost 20 yards a play in that first half.
I was going to say, and by the way, the reason you don't have many first downs is because they're making so much yardage in chunks.
First down for the Vikings now. Maldonado again at quarterback. And again, that's going to be Duran in the backfield with him. Duran just a sophomore. They lost 28 seniors off their team last year. Graduation. Swings it out right side. Hernandez makes the catch. And
William White, not sure, but may have got it. It's William White's patting himself saying, yeah, that was me. But again, Maldonado right there threw a very difficult pass. He's hard sprinting to his right.
Personal foul on the defense, number 11. Horse collar tackle. 15 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
One of the toughest routes to throw is that little flare route where the receiver almost has to turn all the way around to catch the ball, and it's really difficult to throw because you don't know whether he's drifting or heading upfield, and Maldonado put it right on the money.
Again, they'll go with 2 running backs in the backfield. They're going to, fake the handoff. Maldonado's going to keep it. He found a seam, and Maldonado's off to the races. He'll get down inside the 5, touchdown. Vikings finally get into the end zone. A 40-yard run for Pedro Maldonado.
Maldonado shows his moxie right there, knifing through the Highland Park defense and able to get all the way to the end zone. Fakes the zone dive on the read, pulls it out, and he's in the secondary, and he's got some wheels. Mac Ballard gets there right at the end, but can't bring him down before he reaches the end zone, and Nimitz finally cracks the scoreboard.
Giovanni Garcia will kick it, and it's blocked. The ball is still live right there, and it's going to finally be covered by the Vikings. That prevents Highland Park from picking it up and returning it.
And that's Maldonado who recovers it as well. He was the holder.
First touchdown of the night for the Vikings. They trail it with 9:31 to play in the third quarter, 44-6. Highland Park takes the lead into the break. We'll be back to Highlander Stadium right after this timeout. Conveniently located between Lovers Lane and University Boulevard on Preston Road. Not Just Soccer is locally owned and has served the Highland Park community for youth sports equipment needs since 1989. Whether you're looking for soccer, football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, or lacrosse equipment, they carry it all, and they take pride with specialists in each sport, and in many circumstances, you'll be helped by a current Highland Park athlete. Go Scots!
At a service culture, and I don't think there's anybody in our company that believes otherwise. Everybody understands that our mission is to take care of families.
And I think what makes me the most proud is how many families and lives we have actually touched. We've been so impactful for so many people, and in different ways of their lives, and in ways we couldn't necessarily anticipate.
Well, the penalty was against the Vikings, unsportsmanlike conduct, and will be marked off on the kickoff. Get a look at Coach Allen and the Scots on the sideline there.
Oh, here comes a fake. It's a bunch fake. Highland Park's going to come up with it, but again, Nimitz has showed that before. Instead of splitting off, they all bunch and they attack the ball, try to catch the defense off guard, but Scots do a tremendous job.
Let's go down to the sideline. Jay Ellis now has got a special guest down there, a former Highland Park Scot.
And one of the best interviews ever.
Yeah, so you're right. One of our best interviews ever. It's Thomas Shellmeyer, former offensive lineman for Highland Park. He played offensive tackle. Thomas, I think, was a 3-year starter as well. Thomas, how many games have you been to since you graduated?
I think this is my second one. The atmosphere is it's just as electric, if not more electric, than when I left. I'll definitely be coming here more often from here on out.
Hey, Thomas, they're already asking me up in the box. They want to know what you had for Thanksgiving last year.
Oh, dude, it's a little bit of what these guys are doing to Nimitz, right? To this team right now, dude. They're just going ham. That's exactly what I did.
All ham on the turkey, right?
Yeah, it's the only thing that could come into my mind. It's like to say the first thing that comes to my mind every single time. I don't know why that's the first thing that came to my head, but apparently people liked it. So.
Well, I got to tell you, we've talked about you a lot through the years because, as we've mentioned, you're one of the most fun interviews, but also the most serious and fun at the same time. So tell us real quick, what have you seen from the Scots tonight?
I don't know. They look good. They look like a good team. I was talking to Coach Wells. He says he thinks that they got a lot of talent on the O-line. Obviously some injuries, but that'll come throughout the season, throughout the game, throughout the games that they play. So, I honestly feel good. I think, winning games thus far and see how they do in the playoffs. And I think every single year the Scots have a chance to do something great. I don't count this team out in doing that at all. So.
Hey, Jay, refresh our memory. Did he get 2 or 3 state championships?
Yeah, Thomas, how many state championship rings do you own?
2.
Fantastic. Hey, stick with these guys all throughout the playoffs. We want to see you often. And also, congratulations. You're one of the newest SMU graduates.
Coach Allen, Coach Wells. I love this place. I love everybody here to death. This is just one of the best communities that I could have ever asked to be a part of. Anybody could ask to be a part of. So thank y'all so much for having me out here. Having me come on this mic and say the dumbest stuff every single time. I'm glad y'all appreciate it, though.
We love that dumb stuff.
Hey, Thomas, you're the best. Congratulations on your graduation, and thanks for being here.
16-yard pass to Grayson Shank, and now here's Luke Herring up the left side. He dances out to the 16-yard line. That's another first down for the Scots. Back-to-back first downs. Jesus Rodriguez in there to make the tackle. That's going to take the Scots into the red zone. And that is presented by Shelby American.
Nice to see Herring get involved. It's been Bo Lilly night tonight, but
Herring almost had a touchdown catch a moment ago as well.
Yep.
Here we go on a first down from the 16-yard line. Scots from the left hash. Here's Jay Cox. Breaks the tackle. Gets hit at the 5, drives his way down to the 4-yard line before he's going to be knocked down. Among those in on the tackle was Luis Pena. One of the linebackers also in there was Sakivi and Gordwin.
Blocked by Pickleman and blocked by Sweeney. Clear the route for Cox to pound it down inside the 5.
And again, playing without Lawson Petty and Whit Basso tonight. But their backups have gotten in there and
it really
have shown well.
Really builds your depth to give starts to some of the younger guys or to some of the backups because you will need them come playoff time.
They threw an extra football out on the field right there. I don't know if you saw the referee had to.
Mr. Versatility, Jake Watts moving out to left tackle to spell Lawson Petty.
Here we go.
Boom!
Right up the middle. Frank Musa's got the touchdown.
Now
Frank Musa gets his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season.
When I saw 27, I go, now that is a Frank Musa run right there. Rumbling into the end zone.
Brought to you by Bob Lilly Promotions, supporting the Scots since 1999.
Musa doesn't waste any time. Look at this. Pounded up in there. All right, you going to stop me? No, you're not.
Extra point for Kensington Vanguard national title. Brett Kennedy and Peter McGuire. And the kick is up and on the way, and it is good. And still, Jake Tansey, perfect on PAT.
He flirted with it a little there, but he got it.
We need to take a break. We come back in a moment. It's 51-6. Scots leading the Vikings.
It's the Baker Brothers replay. Team Baker Brothers scored a big one with its touchdown tune-up.
That unit sure has some cool moves.
I'll admit it, Jimmy. That's one super shuffle.
Free smart home thermostat with a new Lennox AC system.
Stafford was under pressure, rolled to the left, threw 43 yards into the end zone for a prayer, and Highland Park comes down with the touchdown. Onside kick to come. Across the middle of Snowstead. The game is over. Highland Park has won the state championship.
Davidson Bogle Real Estate brings you the kickoff. Nick Regas has it teed up, the 40-yard line.
Let's focus on some of these coverage guys and see who's first one down.
This one's going to go into, bring it out to the 25-yard line. And that's where the Vikings will set up. 7:36 to play here in the third quarter.
Cornell
51-6 now.
Cornell, Prowse, and Denton. Those are the first three, Jay Ellis. Those guys don't get much recognition, but they do a tremendous job, great job on the coverage when they have to make a play and Tansy doesn't kick it out, or excuse me, not Tansy, but Regas doesn't kick it out of the end zone.
His second touchdown tonight. Touchback. Is that
right.
Blake Andrews now into the game at nose guard for Highland Park?
Daniel Turner in, along with.
Here's Maldonado in a play action. Throws downfield.
Whoa. What a catch.
Stretches out, makes the catch. Omari Griffin makes a diving catch. That's a beauty right there by Griffin.
You won't see a much better catch than that right there. He stretched out every bit he had to make this catch. Maldonado throwing back across the grain.
It's a 19-yard reception right there.
Ball hits the ground, but it looks like he's got control of it.
It's going to be his first catch of the night. Our replays this quarter brought to you by Harris Orthodontics. They know how to tackle crooked teeth.
Well,
Here's a handoff. And this is going to be Duran off left tackle. Rossley steps in there to stop him. There's number 40 right there.
Carter Noonan in the game at defensive end, along with Daniel Turner, the sophomore. Got a lot of potential, Daniel. He's just got a lot of good players in front of him, at least right now, but he's going to be a good one.
Duran stays on the ground down there. It may be a cramp that he's dealing with. Our injury updates tonight for Dr. Field Scoville over at the Carroll Clinic, orthopedic, surgeon fellowship trained in sports medicine. That's Dr. Field Scoville.
I love it. The three defensive linemen have come over to kneel down right in front of their position coach, Coach Burt. And he's doing a little coaching on the side right now while he can.
Our drive recaps tonight have been brought to you by the good folks at Stewart Partners Global Advisory, located right here.
Where would that be?
Right here in Dallas, Texas. He could be any place.
Are you sure it's here?
Stewart Partners Global Advisory, located right here in the great city of Dallas, Texas. Here we go and the handoff.
Push. Daniel Turner comes knifing down inside on what looked like a stunt. Thought he had the ball carrier in the backfield, but can't quite hold on.
That's Zaylen Washington carrying for the first time tonight. He plays linebacker over on defense. They brought him over, and he's getting some time at running back. This is a team that lost one of their best running backs, Ashton Thompson. He moved from wide receiver to running back. Last week broke his toe. Washington on another carry. Thompson last week ran the ball one time for 38 yards, broke his toe in 4 places.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
4 toe in 4 places.
Had to have surgery. They did that surgery this morning. We wish him the very best.
I mean, you almost picture it had to be somebody step on him and break it in 4 places. How else do you do that?
It just makes me hurt thinking about it. Ouch.
Don't kick anything.
Ashton, we wish you the best. Hope you get well soon. I think Pat Sauer has rounded up another set of parents down there. We'll go to him in just a second. Maldonado on the play action. We've got a flag thrown. It's an incomplete pass. Pat Sauer, and understand you've got another guest. There's sideline reports for Willow Bend Mortgage.
Hey, Scots fans, I've got Michael and Marianne. This is Barrett Denton's parents. And Michael, hey, he played what position starting in junior high all the way to now?
Junior high, he started out as a receiver, as a lot of boys do. And freshman year, the coaches moved him over to defensive back and said, let's see what you think.
Yeah, and how did he like it over there?
He likes the taste of hitting.
Very, very good. Marianne, the theme of the night is, what did you feed him pregame? So I already kind of know the answer, but tell us about it.
I only know that he drank Pedialyte all day long. I don't know what he ate, but Pedialyte is the key for him.
So you think he stayed hungry for the game, huh?
He stayed hungry for the game, yes.
And Pat, make sure that the Dentons know that we know that Marianne is where the athletic talent comes from.
Castelaw wanted to make sure that everybody knows that the athletic talent comes from Marianne. That's right. That's right. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Good luck tonight.
All right. Thank you.
3rd down and 10 now. The Vikings on 3rd down, 6 of 11. They'll spread the field. A couple of wide receivers to the top of your screen and 2 more to the bottom of your screen. They're going to send Griffin in motion, reset him in the backfield. Maldonado to throw. He's going to give it to Griffin on the screen. He's really close to that first down. He's got it. He's got it. It's going to go for 11 yards and enough for the first down. Move the chains one more time. Coming in there to make the tackles, Charlie Barton along with Wes Giese.
Yeah, again, well set up play. Highland Park defensive line are really trying to tee off to get to Maldonado, and the Nimitz offensive line set him up, let him run by, and then ran that screen.
Of Barrett's mom?
Well, I know this. I said at one point that Michael must have provided all the athletic ability, and I think Marianne got upset at that, and so we need to make sure that we note that it could be.
Christopher Hernandez on the catch right there. Move the chains again. Another first down for the Vikings. Jay Ellis, you want to take the other side of that argument?
Well, listen, I'm sure Marianne was a fantastic athlete, but Michael Denton and I played football together at Highland Park, and that guy could run. He was also a great hurdler. He was a kicker. He played some quarterback and some receiver. Michael was a great athlete and had a lot of speed. So you put that together with Marianne with this athletic history that I'm just hearing about, and that explains why Barrett's such a stud back there at safety.
I think for the sake of harmony at home, it needs to be Marianne.
Wow, there's a big hit and a tackle made, and Charlie Barton steps in there and says, how do you do? And he throws the running back, Omari Griffin, to the turf.
Charlie Barton exercising his prowess right there, like, hello. Rossley was set up to make the hit, and Barton knifes in front of him before Rossley can do it, and Rossley cleans it up, but Charlie makes the hit that stops him.
2nd down and 10. That was a no-gainer. Again, we've got 2.5 minutes to play in quarter number 3 on homecoming night at Highlander Stadium. Big lead for the Scots.
Bubble, watch the bubble.
Hernandez goes in motion out of the backfield. The pass is incomplete. Ramey steps in there and makes the hit. Tommy Rossley was over there to help break it up as well. And
there's Barrett Denton right there.
Is back there. There's Barrett, number 26. Here we go. Let's get another look at it.
Pop.
Boom.
That's Rossley.
That's Rossley who made the big impact right there.
Now, fun to hear Coach Eason talk about Denton, Dautrieve, and Williams, and how excited he is about how they played. Also, getting Nathan Harper back from injury this week as well, and he will factor in at some point down the road as well.
3rd down and 10. This time they're going to hand it off. No place to go. Big tackle's going to be made right at the line of scrimmage. Actually, it'll be a loss on the play, and that is big Cormac Carroll, who comes in there for the Scots and makes the stop. Cormac, a loss of 3 on the play.
Cormac's stout inside right there to the nose guard spot, fighting off the double team, making the hit.
Zaylen Washington carrying the ball. No place to go.
Boom.
And a 4th down situation now for the Vikings.
Ronaldo Rodriguez just has no answer for Cormac Carroll right there. Carroll stands him up, shucks him, moves to his left, makes the hit.
Highland Park brings her backers up close. And we have a whistle. And a timeout's going to be called by Nimitz before the ball was snapped. Coach Mark Small wants to
Nimitz.
talk to his gang before they run this 4th down play. Minute 22 to go in the 3rd quarter. Highland Park up 51-6.
Well, just a blitzkrieg to start this half.
Take a look at this on your screen. This is going to make you hungry, I bet. Ho, ho, ho.
Funnel
cakes. How about
man,
that?
oh man.
Put a little powdered sugar on top of that baby.
I've never been a big funnel cake guy. Yeah.
There we go. Take a little ride on across the midway.
That was obviously not Texas OU weekend.
Or maybe it was during the game.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. There's many people outside as inside, I think, in Texas OU.
I didn't get a chance to ride the Texas Star this year. The line for that Ferris wheel is always so long.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. 4th down and 12.
Play action.
Throwback.
Throw back to the left side. Receivers headed into the end zone. That's over Hernandez's head. And incomplete. That was not Hernandez. That was Kennedy, the intended receiver down there. The ball goes over on downs. And Highland Park will take over with 1:16 to go in the 3rd quarter.
And I think that was Ethan Burt in coverage. I'm not sure we'll see here on the replay. But again, Maldonado throwing back across the field. And that is Burt with excellent coverage.
New quarterback for the Scots, Warren Peck, is going to step in there. Store on the night.
Glad to have Peck back after his concussion earlier this year.
Here we go. Snap it back. Right up the middle. This is Musa. And Musa's going to get this one all the way out to midfield. How about that run? Well, I tell you what, Frank did a nice job of not quitting. And he goes 22 yards, but that was a pretty impressive run right there.
Yeah, Frank has that fire plug look to him, doesn't he? Like, you're not going to knock him off his feet with just one shot. Look at that block right there by number 79. That is Bowen Nussbaum.
He gave Scavian Gordwin a little ride there. Here we go. This time they'll fake the handoff. The throw near side, that's going to be incomplete. Intended for Colin Hale. By the way, for Brennan Store tonight, he finishes up 5 of 8, 143 yards and a touchdown. That's going to be one of his lightest nights of the season, and yet it's a 51-6 game.
That's what happens when you got 3 special teams touchdowns
in 13 seconds.
Yeah.
2nd and 10 for the Scots. Peck calls for the snap, fakes the handoff. Warren stands in there, throws, and it's picked off at the 27. This is going to be Scavian Gordwin, and his 3rd interception of the season. Finally, he's going to be tackled down there around the 34, 35-yard line.
Well, Peck got late pressure in his face. I'm not sure it was a spy linebacker or defensive lineman, but he gets late pressure in his face, kind of throws it before he wants to, and because of that, it sails a little bit, allows Gordwin to come up with that pick and set Nimitz up with great field position inside the Highland Park 40.
Only Highland Park's 2nd turnover this season.
Which is amazing. Great effort by Pickleman, I believe, to make that tackle. Can't quite get there. Number 71.
Yep. First down for the Vikings.
Got that quad set to the left again.
It's going to be the wide side of the field. Griffin, fake it to him. Quarterback's going to keep it. Maldonado's got some moves. Charlie Barton will finally tackle him down at the 29. That's going to be a 6-yard pickup.
6-yard pickup, but it looks like more while Maldonado's doing it.
2nd down, that may be the final play of the 3rd quarter as we tick closer to
I think it will
zeros on the scoreboard. That will take us to the 4th quarter. After 3 quarters of play here at Highlander Stadium, Highland Park 51 and the Nimitz Vikings 6. One of my all-time favorite high school band songs.
Well, it's classic.
The Horse. Mike McAfee. You don't think I can name the horse? Come on. They're going to swap ends.
How many stadiums in Texas are playing this song tonight?
Oh, exactly. Exactly. Tell you what, let's take a break. We'll come back. Fourth quarter gets underway from Highlander right after this.
School is fantastic. You feel you're involved in every step of the decision-making process. That really makes a big difference to me.
Discover our wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles at Sewell Cadillac or SewellCadillac.com.
Determination on the field will be the same discipline that gets the job done. That's why Tailwater Capital is a proud supporter of the Highland Park Athletic Program, the winningest athletic program in the state of Texas. 11 Lone Star Cups, 112 state championships, and a commitment to excellence that serves its players for a lifetime. From the locker room to the boardroom, Scots find a way.
Maldonado on the first play of the fourth quarter with a 5-yard pickup. Got the first down. It was Robert Ramey who came through and made the tackle. He'll shift the offense. Ball spotted on the right hash mark. Maldonado sprints off to the wide side of the field, and the low pass is incomplete. Scoots right between the hands of Christopher Hernandez. Second down and 10.
Tell you, two guys that are going to be mainstays for the Highland Park defense for a couple of years still to come. Number 54, Daniel Turner, and number 57, Jack Morris. Great to see such young guys being able to make a contribution.
(51-6), Highland Park with the lead. Vikings in Highland Park territory from the 26-yard line. Maldonado again will keep it, and Maldonado will be spun down at the 15-yard line. That's William White who will make the tackle, but not before Maldonado gets 11 more. That's 87 yards for Maldonado tonight, rushing on 15 carries.
Highland Park rolling in their
He's got their only touchdown as well. The PAT was no good. It was blocked.
I thought we were going to have a run back for 2 more points.
Yeah, exactly.
After all that with the safety and 2 kickoff returns by Bo Lilly. Carlson in the game along with Spencer Brown.
From the 15-yard line, Maldonado to throw into right through the middle, and it's into and out of the hands of the would-be receiver. That was Caden Holder. I believe we've got a holding call against the offense.
Yeah, we're going to back them up. And have we seen this show before?
Yep.
Holding on the offense, number 66. 10 yards from previous spot. Repeat. Down.
Nimitz gets down in scoring position and then shoots themselves in the foot again.
That's 8 penalties against the Vikings now for 70 yards.
You know, if they just can eliminate those, they're a completely different team.
.10:32 to play in this one. Maldonado again out of the gun. It's Hernandez in motion. He'll throw to Hernandez, and he won't make the catch.
I thought Barton
could not bobble it long enough to find a handle on it.
When he bobbled it, I thought Barton arrived just as he was bobbling. I thought Barton was going to pick that off and go the distance the other way. You can see a good look at it right here. Just a little flat bubble. Oh, if Barton had seen it.
Second down now. Again, Vikings have to get all the way down to the 5-yard line for a first down. Maldonado on a quarterback keeper. No place to go.
Spencer Brown's waiting there with a bear hug to put on him. Good job by Lewis Montgomery, nose guard as well.
Vikings may be out of gas right here. They had gotten in the very first quarter, opening drive of the game. They started their own 25. They got all the way down inside the 10-yard line, and then they had penalty, and then interception. And Highland Park marched downfield, scored, and the Scots have not looked back since.
And that just takes the wind out of your sails when that happens to you offensively.
3rd down and 20.
Of course, Scots had a little bit to do.
Griffin drifts out there, catches it on a little screen pass. They're still going to be way short of the first down. 4th down and about 10 needed for a first.
And surely they will go. Nose position to put some pressure again up the middle.
Well, what does that do to offensive line when you've got 5 guys who rotate in there on your defensive line?
It takes much more energy to play defense than offense, but when you can go all out and you bring in fresh legs every 3 plays, it's tremendous advantage.
Throw. Has to stop, reverse, throws into the end zone. It's intercepted. Picked off. Highland Park's got it. 2nd interception of the night. This is Brady Dautrieve with his first pick of the season.
And Dautrieve makes a great play. Enjoyed visiting with him. Again, 4.3 GPA last spring. In a band and picking off passes for the Highland Park secondary. And there's the dunk.
Put it right there in the turnover trash can. Brady Dautrieve with the INT. I thought they were going to run together. I was afraid that he and Charlie Barton were going to bump into each other, but
I couldn't see who was putting pressure on Maldonado to force the quick throw, but he had a hand in that as well.
That might have been Cormac Carroll.
All right.
Nevertheless, Scots get the ball back, and they're going to start deep in their own territory at the 5-yard line. Warren Peck will hand it off, fumble on the play, but Highland Park gets it back. Play was fumbled, and it is picked up, and the Scots have it back.
And
that was
Wagner Perry running the ball. Just looked like he cleared the defensive line and just lost the handle on it, but fortunately picks it up again for a 5-yard gain.
I believe that is his first carry of the season. 2nd down and 5 now for the Scots from the 10-yard line. Peck again out of the gun, hands off.
Hello.
We got some running room.
Hello.
This is going to be Brian Rapp takes it out for a first down across the 20 to the 22-yard line.
And we'll have some pumped up backup linemen there too. We got Paul Flowers in the game. We got Nussbaum. Number 70, Gage Clark. Big sophomore, I believe, is in the game. Pickleman.
Brian gets his first carry since the Irving game. This time the Scots will go empty set formation. On first down, Peck looks right, throws right. That's going to be caught out there on the far side. And I believe that's Colin Hale who made the catch and gets knocked out of bounds.
That is. And we're waiting to see if it was 18 or 19. And it is 18, Colin Hale. I think it's an 18. Yeah, it's 18. Hard to tell, though.
I believe Pat Sauer may have another special guest down there. Check in here in just a second.
Thanksgiving's getting bigger and bigger.
There's a nice swing pass out of the backfield. Making the catch right there is Lucas Kellner. Turn the corner. He's not going to get much, if anything, on the play, but he does get his first catch of the season.
For the Scots up front, again, looks like Whit Thompson, Paul Flowers, Pickleman, Gage Clark, and Nussbaum.
Pat, you do have a guest down there, correct?
I do, guys.
Okay,
I do.
we're coming to you right after this play.
We can sit. They're coming to us right after this play.
Here we go. Peck to throw. Looks down. Caught. There's a big first down and a nice catch by Colin Sewell.
Oh, yeah, nice back shoulder throw by Warren Peck. you see the velocity he can get on that ball, and Sewell rotates backwards. Good pass protection up front, gives Peck the time he needs. And look at that pass right between the two defenders.
That replay brought to you by Free Range Concepts, The Rustic, Texas Ingredients, Texas Sounds, Texas Soul. 25 yards on the play. Scots have a first down. I promise, Pat, we're coming to you after this play. Here we go. Peck. Out of the backfield. Pass is caught. That is Kellner, who made the second catch on this drive. And a first down for the Scots. Let's go down to Pat Sauer. What you got for us?
That was my boy, Lucas Kellner. Here we go, guys. I've got Andrew Maroulis' parents, Jen and Gary. He's getting a rest here. Has that happened very much this year?
Not really. He's been in pretty much every game, every play, so.
Well, he's consistent, and that's what the coaches love, get worn out. And he's doing a great job for the Scots, and there goes another long ball, and a little overthrown.
And Pat, ask him about, having to sit. He was injured a lot last year.
Yeah.
How did that impact him?
Yeah, he was injured quite a bit last year. What was that like, Gary?
Well, he didn't like it very much. Mama didn't like it very much. None of us liked
number
it.
71 and 53.
It was good to see him
15
recover,
yards.
and he was anxious to get back on the field this year.
Yeah, well, he's doing a fantastic job, and the Scots are looking good tonight. Lots of exciting plays. I'm going to let them get back to the action, okay?
Great.
Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Nice talking to y'all.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much, Pat. Sideline reports and our fan reports brought to you by Willow Bend Mortgage.
It's our fan cam.
Our fan cam. There we go. Scott's on a first down. It was a chop block was the call, a 15-yard mark-off, so make it 1st and 25.
Good protection.
Boy, Peck finds a receiver wide open down there. Scots have big yardage on this. All the way down inside the 20, near the 17-yard line. Colin Hale made the catch. He's finally going to be taken down by Mr. Sakevian Gordwin.
I'll tell you what, can Peck put some mustard on that ball when he throws it, when he winds up? Nussbaum get down there to help.
Colin Hale on the reception. Highland Park now into the Shelby American red zone. 2nd down and 3. 8th play of the drive. Swing pass out right side. It's going to be caught.
Sewell.
And Sewell fights off one tackler, but he's not going to fight off the second. Did he get the first down? Yep, looks like he did. They're going to move the chains, but we may have a flag on the play.
Looks
nope, there go the chains.
Ted Higgins in the game, at least that last play. Let's see if he's still there. Number 87. Sewell's in the game, now number 88. Julian Pham Davis.
Peck turns, hands off.
Here we go. Here we go.
And all the way down near the 6-yard line. Wagner Perry on his second carry of the night. Finally going to be taken down by Gordwin. Wayne McCullough has come in for Highland Park. He'll be in at one of the wide receiver positions.
If he's number 86, he's a McCullough. Gotta be.
Get a look at that replay brought to you by The Rustic, Texas Ingredients, Texas Sounds, Texas Soul. 2nd down and 4 now for the Scots. Handoff, and there's a first down. Wagner Perry's going to get down near the, Kellner down near the 3-yard line. Lucas Kellner, 5'11", 150-pound senior.
It's great that the second group is able to mount this drive. Let's see if they can punch it in the end zone. They work really hard, giving the starters a great picture every week, and they deserve to punch it in the end zone on this 10-play drive.
This drive's already gone 91 yards. 3rd and short. 2 running backs in the backfield. Warren Peck out of the shotgun. Hands it off. And Kellner's not going to get in. Boy, he got hit hard. Nice tackle made there by the Vikings. That was Malik Jackson, who came in there and made the tackle, along with Keyshawn Walpool.
Keyshawn Walpool.
That's a football name.
He's a big young man. He is 6'4", 277. Probably one of the biggest defensive linemen Nimitz has. Scott's going for it.
On 4th down, Highland Park needs 2 for a first down. Play action fake. Peck rolls to the right side, pumps. He's not going to get it off. He'll get thrown down near the sideline over there, and the Scots will turn it over. And it will go to the Vikings now with 2.5 minutes to play.
Peck rolling hard to his right, trying to buy a little time, just can't quite get away from the Nimitz defense. Lost 2 yards. Nimitz takes over inside their own 10.
Let's see what the Vikings can do with 2.5 minutes to go.
You know, from watching their film earlier in the year, they are definitely getting better. They are, you know, I see marked improvement from where they were 3 weeks ago. So that's a positive for the Nimitz program.
They're going to fall to 1-7 on the season. They'll be 1-5 in district play. They're obviously not going to make the playoffs this year unless they suddenly go on some kind of wild run. But they have a tough road to hoe. They've still got Jesuit and Berkner to play to wind down their season. But
Pat Sauer, I see him walking up the stands now. He's got the cameraman in tow. So he found a victim, he said.
Pat, you found another? Let's tell us when you're ready to go.
It's there. Hang on.
Don't step on anybody's toes. Here we go. First down. Vikings get somebody in there very late. Still 15 on the play clock as they snap it back. They're going to keep it on the ground around the left side. They'll push this out near the 10-yard line.
And that's Coleman Donham in there, number 77 on that tackle. Help from number 48. Ben Salter. Nathan Harper in the game at safety. Coach Eason talked about him at length.
Pat Sauer, why don't you take it away since you've got a guest?
Yeah, listen. Okay, guys, got to stand up here so everybody can see you. I've got the Kellners. This is Lucas's parents. I've known them since Lucas was itty bitty. They were next door neighbors. And Amy, really proud. He's having a big night. How fun is this?
It's awesome. We are thrilled just with his perseverance, and just the whole team is getting to have fun out there and really do their best and just celebrate Highland Park's homecoming.
Yeah, there you go. And the Scots parents, really, that's what this is about. I mean, they raise these kids to be respectful and work hard. And how fun is it to just see it pay off when they work so hard in practice?
It's great to see the examples, the camaraderie, the coaching. We're just thankful to be a part of this system.
Well, I appreciate it, guys. I'm just happy to see him having fun out there. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you very much, Pat. Got a minute to go in this one. Vikings pick up a first down right there. By the way,
after the game, the Highland Park Band, maybe what you were getting ready to say.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, Pat,
Jim,
Fred had a birthday yesterday, and he's been 29 for what, 7, 8, long time.
I'm not buying it anymore.
Fred Garner, our producer, extra birthday edition, where he takes the whole crew out and buys dinner.
I've heard about that. I really would like
his whole crew.
I would like to be a part of that.
So, Fred, we appreciate that, and we will take you up on that tonight.
Oh, what a pass.
There's a nice pass out, and a big tackle made by Highland Park. That's Sam Webster who gets in there. And
there's Sam Webster and Cornell. And that's it.
That's going to wind it down to 000 in Highland Park. We'll put this one into the win column by a final score of 51-6. And Jay Ellis will be getting our players of the game coming up here momentarily. And we'll hear from Coach Allen as well.
I think that you have to call this one subtitle Bo Lilly Show.
That's right.
The Bo Lilly Show right here.
Had a one-handed touchdown catch in the first half and 2 kick returns for touchdowns in the second half.
Yes, indeed.
Jay Ellis asking if we should make Bo a player of the game. I guess so.
he could be multiple players.
That's true. Mike McAbee said he could be our offensive player of the game, our special teams player of the game.
And I think Jay's got a Nimitz player of the game down there right now.
Sure, that's
Gordwin.
On him at the coin toss, a good leader for Nimitz. But hey, tell us about your young program.
We lost 30 seniors. You know, only 4 returning varsity starters. We lost 1 last week, so we got 3. We're just great. We're trying to rebuild. I'm trying to rebuild for the younger kids and let them do what they got to do. I'm just trying to get into college.
Hey, that's awesome. I saw you before the game and saw you were one of the leaders, and I was glad you came over to talk with us. Good luck the rest of the season.
Yes, sir.
We're proud of you.
Thank you.
All right, great.
Coach Allen is behind you. And the band is going to perform here in just a couple of minutes.
Coach Allen giving a hug to his daughter he spoke about, walking out on the field as a homecoming queen nominee.
Jay's trying to catch up with Coach Allen right now, I believe.
He's in a family hug right now.
Gotcha. Our post-game show, by the way, is brought to you by the Burger House. Burger House, official burger of Highland Park football.
Interesting, the band having new uniforms, maybe for their competition, but they are in those new duds tonight.
Waiting for Coach Allen to finish up with family, and then he'll join Jay. Scotch, by the way, will be on the road next week playing MacArthur. The regular season finale will be at Pierce.
Coach Allen giving a hug to, I'm not sure who that is down there right now, but that's Gary Hammond. I guarantee you that is the granddad of Will Giese, who played at SMU with Coach Allen.
Well, nice game for Highland Park to win, 51-6. But they got a lot of people in there. You get a lot of people who got some good playing time. And yeah, we're ready. Go ahead, take it away.
All right, I've got Highland Park head coach Randy Allen. Coach Allen, another great win, 51-6 for Highland Park. Tell us a little bit just about how the game unfolded, especially with it taking so long before your offense had a chance to get on the field.
Well, yeah, we took a 28-0 halftime lead with, I think we'd run 13. We had who returns 2 kickoffs back-to-back, and he had 44-0, I think, maybe. I don't know. There were some great plays, but I'm really proud of our football team, and, we just keep getting better each week and try to improve each week, and this was win number 7.
Yeah, Coach, it's another instance where your defense, it seems like your defense is on the field so much more than your offense, but that's just because your offense is scoring so quickly. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with the production of your offense. Your offense just really seems to be clicking.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're scoring in 2 or 3 plays or 4 or 5 plays, and our defense is back on the field, and then they're running the clock and making first downs. So anyway, that's just everybody so far. The last couple of games, that's been everybody's game plan.
Coach Allen, with this being the 100th year of Highland Park football, it's a special night on homecoming. You have captains from previous years coming back. We had a chance to see one of your all-time great offensive linemen, Thomas Schellmeyer, on the sideline here. Tell us what it means just for the big picture of Highland Park on a special night like tonight when you get a big win on homecoming.
Well, I got to see 3 or 4 guys I hadn't seen in a long time, from the 2002 class. And it's just great to renew friendships and find out what they're doing in their life. And, there's just so much tradition here, and you want your alumni to plug back in and feel a part of it. And homecoming is just one of those opportunities where they get to feel like they're a part of the tradition and they feel like they're part of this school.
Coach Allen, you ready to go? It looks like I know we've got the band. The band coming on. I tell you, why don't we walk and talk, and we'll get out of the way of the band. But the last question is about the band. Highland Park at homecoming every year, the band does something really kind for the football team by waiting until after the game, and the football team tries to return the favor. Would you tell our fans a little bit about what you all do after the homecoming game each year?
Well, we usually sit up in the stands and have Whataburger delivered. Anyway, that's what we usually do, sit up there and watch the band.
Got it. Well, they're asking a question. Oh, all right. Hey, Coach Allen, congratulations on a great win on homecoming night. We'll see you next week. And I will mention the band is getting ready, and I want to encourage everybody in the stands who's still listening, stick around for this performance. I think the football team will be doing the same, and we're about to have our players of the game.
All right, get to those players of the game as soon as you can. Our offensive and defensive players of the game. We'll have our special team player of the game. And also we'll go over our play of the game for tonight's 51-6 victory for the Highland Park Scots. The series now stands 3-2 in favor of Highland Park, and the Scots have now won 3 consecutive over the Vikings, 2014, 15, and now 2022.
I bet there are not many series that are that close for Highland Park, 3-2.
Exactly.
I mean, that's pretty amazing. It must have been a while since the Scots played Nimitz.
Seems like the first 2 times they played were
way back,
at least 40, maybe 50 years ago. I believe our defensive players of the game are down there. They're brought to you by HP Youth Football, preparing tomorrow's Scots today. Jay Ellis, take it away.
Backer of the game, Robert Ramey. Robert, I know you've been battling injuries all year, but we saw you crushing people last year, and we've seen you crushing people this year when you're on the field. Tell us how much fun you're having when you get to be out there on the field.
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. And yeah, I've been battling some injuries, so especially when I get healthier and I get to come out here and play on games like this and make tackles with all my best friends, it's a blast. I love it.
And Robert, so homecoming's special for a lot of reasons. I mean, there are so many people that come and they celebrate you guys, the football team, every week. But this is one of those nights where the football team also gets to celebrate them. They have the homecoming queen stuff. I don't know if you got to see that. The band's about to do their special performance. Just talk a little bit about how special it is to be a part of a community where everybody celebrates each other like happens here.
There's nothing like it. Talking about like Grace Sheep, I think Grace Sheep, she's the best example of it right now. I mean, the whole community came in behind her. I've never seen so many people come around one girl and support and pray for her and so much. Highland Park's really a special community, and it's amazing here.
Hey, Robert, so like I said, you've had injuries, so we haven't gotten to – this is the first chance I've gotten to talk with you this year. He's our defensive player of the game. Robert, tell us a little bit about how this defense is coming together and really bonding and making great plays.
Yes, sir. We get together every Thursday, and we're all really great friends and stuff, so we have a really good bond. This is one of the fastest defense Highland Park's had in a while, and we bond over that all the time too. Kind of joke around who's the fastest and who's not and stuff like that. And I mean, we're all getting smarter, and our bond's getting stronger every single day, and we're getting ready for the next game in the playoffs. So we're looking good.
Hey, Robert Ramey, I'm excited to get to say it today. I know I'll get to say it again, but you're our linebacker of the game. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I've got another defensive player of the game, Barrett Denton. Barrett Denton, you're making tackles all year long. They talked to your dad during the game, and he reminded us that you used to be a wide receiver. Talk a little bit. You enjoy it.
Definitely tackling. I like hitting people. I'd rather hit people and keep people from scoring touchdowns instead of scoring them.
Hey, Barrett, you're doing a lot of it this year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes it's when the ball's in the air, and other times, split safeties. You're coming up and how you're making determinations at the beginning of the play, whether you're backing off or you're coming up, because it seems like you're always in the right place at the right time.
So we're taught to play top down. So we play pass first, and we don't come down till we see ball off hand or the running back crosses line of scrimmage. So I have good closing speed. So when I see the ball off hand, I go down and make the tackle.
Hey, Barrett, your dad was a Highland Park Scout as well, and I know he loves this program probably as much as you do. Tell me what it means to you to get to play on a team and have that bond with him, around this whole experience this senior year.
It's really cool to have someone. He's always had my back since day one.
Hey, Barrett Denton, you're our defensive back of the game. I'm proud of you. Congratulations. We'll see you next week. Thank you, and I think we're going to go to commercial.
The official burger of Highland Park football.
Burger House keeps my O-line fueled for the big games.
I got your back.
Mouth-watering burgers, famous fries, handmade shakes and malts made the old-fashioned way, like they were back in 1951, when we first opened our doors. Next time you have the urge for a double-double and Jack's Famous Fries, stop in and step back in time to our neighborhood restaurant. We would love to see you. Go Scots! Show, and we've got our offensive player of the game, our special teams player of the game, and the guy who had our play of the game. Jay, take it away.
Hey, Bo, they're having a big debate upstairs. They can't decide, are you offensive player of the game or are you special teams player of the game? So we're going to give you both. Let's talk about offense first. You know, for some reason, your left arm was sort of pinned as you were running that seam route, and Brennan threw the ball on I guess you call it a one ball, right? Tell us about that play.
It happened really quick. That's pretty much just reps. That's all practice right there. I didn't really think about it. It just happened. That's pretty much it. Me and Brennan just connected.
And you caught it with one hand initially, right? I hope they're showing it while we're talking, but tell us about the concentration and the confidence you have to be able to secure that ball with one hand initially.
That's again a lot of practice that helps build that confidence. That's really the only thing that can help. That can get your confidence to the level. We talked in chapel before the game where put your trust in God, 100% confidence. That's really the only way you can play and have confidence like that.
Hey, Bo, in the second half, Nimitz had the misfortune of having to kick twice to you. Tell us, first of all, Highland Park hadn't had a lot of opportunities to return kicks this year. Tell us first, how are you preparing for that?
Well, I don't think they've kicked it past 30 yards the whole season, actually. So that was a surprise, but I was still expecting it. You expect the ball every time. As the back return man, that's just what you do. So I was expecting it. I made one move, saw the hole open up, and just went. Just like Coach Corey's been drilling that into our heads. Just make one move, get up full speed, use your track speed, and go. And that's just what happened. And the second one was the same deal. Same hole, same blocking, same thing pretty much.
Hey, Bo, congratulations. I think we're about to go to the band here, but you've been our first offensive and special teams player in the same game of the game. Congratulations on a great one, Bo Lilly.
Thank you.
Thank you. And are we going to the band now, guys, or are we going to players? Okay. our offensive lineman of the game. This is junior Case Pickleman. Hey, Case, we're going to make it a little quick because we're running over, but tell me what it was like in the trenches and the battle that the fans don't always get to see up close.
You know, it's always rough in the trenches, and it was definitely physical tonight. And, you know, I'm so grateful to have Andrew Maroulis right by my side, helping me with the signals, and Will Ogle just encouraging me with every play. And, you know, it's just taking the ball and getting to run it and shove it down their throats. It's the best feeling in the world. And I love it. I love run blocking.
Case Pickleman, that's what I expect to hear from an offensive lineman, and you're our offensive lineman of the game. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I've got Wilson Axley with me. Wilson is our offensive back of the game. Hey, Wilson, it seems like earlier in the year they were giving you the ball running to the outside. They're still doing it, but now it seems like you're running between the tackles as well. Tell us a little bit about the success you're having running north and south.
Yes, sir. So obviously being new to running back this year, I didn't necessarily understand the dynamics of the outside run or the inside run yet during the beginning of the season, but becoming to develop into this new running back that they tossed me into, it's been cool seeing how the line works and just following my blockers and just leading me to the promised land.
Hey, Wilson, we'll be talking with you a lot more this year. Congratulations, you're our offensive back of the game. Thank you. And I've got one final player. This is our defensive back of the game, Wes Giese. Hey, Wes, you've been playing great all season, but as sort of a good human interest story, I understand your grandfather was a great football player, and you talk with him a good amount during the season. Tell us about that relationship and also what it's like to have him be a part of this experience with you.
Yes, sir. Well, he's a big influence in my life, and not only was he a great football player, but he's a really godly man, and so he teaches me lessons on and off the field about being a better football player, but also being a better man.
And for our viewers, tell them, Wes Giese, we'll be talking again. You're our defensive back of the game, and another great win for the Scouts. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And that concludes our player interviews.
Jay, our offensive player of the game tonight brought to you by Tollison Wealth Management, proud supporter of the Highland Park Scots. And again, our defensive players of the game brought to you by HP Youth Football. They are preparing tomorrow's Scots today. And we had our plays of the game, and we're going to watch those coming up here in a moment. They're brought to you by Riddell Plumbing, home of honesty, quality, great customer service, and proud supporters of the Highland Park Scots. And our special teams player of the game had to be Bo Lilly because of all he did. And that's brought to you by Mark Clifton Homes, trusted builder of exceptional homes.
Yeah, Bo Lilly, no doubt, will remember this game for a long time.
That is going to wrap things up from Highlander Stadium. Thanks so much for staying with us. A little bit late tonight, but we got to catch the band. We'll leave you with the highlights from tonight's 51-6 victory. For Jim and Jay and Pat and everybody else who's been associated with the broadcast, I'm Russell Scott. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next week from Irving when the Scots take on MacArthur. But tonight, Highland Park, a 51-6 win over the Nimitz Vikings. Good night. God bless.